What's up? You've tuned in to the Kokomo Press Podcast. I'm your host, Jordan Grainger, and this week I'm joined by my co-host, Cortni Richardson, and our special guests round out the panel are two members of Dwarf among Midgets, two guys that run Outhouse Records, two hosts of the Outhouse Super Show. Check them out. Ladies and gentlemen, Matty Gravis and Matty Crull. These are two guys who have been on the show so many times. We've partnered with them on so many projects, including our Christmas special. We've done a ton of different skits and fun things with these guys. You've definitely seen them at our roast and other places like that. And Matty actually is a stand-up comic who has done stand-up comedy. So, ladies and gentlemen, this was a great episode. But before we get into that, make sure you do me a huge favor. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, do all the things that help us be seen, because when you do that, we have a better show. It just is what it is. We're getting close to 400 subscribers here on YouTube, so help us out, man. We appreciate it. Anyway, we had a great time. We dispelled any rumors about what happened with the fire marshal and Outhouse Records and our new open mic that we're going to be doing every week on Thursday at Outhouse Records. The door's going to open at 7 p.m. Sign's going to be at 7:30, and the show starts promptly at 8 p.m. We did our first show ever. We talked a little bit about that. I talked a little about some upcoming shows I have, including one at the Indie Fringe Theater, one at Helium Comedy Club, and we talked about Grey Garden going into the North End Pub. It's going to be exciting. We also discussed a little bit about Matty Crull and Outhouse Productions and what he's going to be doing as far as helping people get podcasts, helping people do music videos, video editing. He's going to be doing graphic design, mixing, mastering, everything that you can think of in the media realm. You can go to Matty Crull and Outhouse Productions. Check him out at outhousekokomo@gmail.com. Hit him up for any questions you have. We talked about Kanye. We talked about Haley Joel Osment. And we talked about funny skin conditions that we've seen. We've talked about some local shots that were taken. We've talked about comedy, the Big J Okerson. We talked a little bit about movies, including The Last of Us TV show. We talked a little bit about that. Talked about Star Wars. We talked a little bit about Andor. We talked a little bit about literally everything you can think of. We hit so many topics on this episode. So if you enjoy pop culture, if you enjoy catching up on the drama that we've had to deal with lately, if you enjoy comedy, this is the perfect episode for you. You can hang out with myself, Jordan Grainger, my co-host, Cortni Richardson, and you can hang out with two of the guys from Outhouse Records, the Outhouse Super Show, and Dwarf among Midgets, and Matty Crull and Matty Gravis this week on this episode of the Kokomo Press Podcast, baby. Oh, woo!
Warning, this video contains adult content not suitable for children.
Consider a set list, have an outhouse set.
Yeah, so every time she comes, I'll know that set list. And, you know,
I'll play bass.
Yeah.
She could just show up.
Because it's kind of like a green jello thing. Yeah. But I would do it for Lindsay.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about Misunderstood, right? The band.
Yeah.
Like they had a show scheduled for this Saturday, and you guys had to cancel it.
Friday.
This Friday, sorry. Yeah. Friday. And you guys had to cancel it because of this whole fire marshal thing. Yeah.
Right.
And I went to New Havens anyway to scream about it.
Yeah. What's New Haven?
He wasn't going to be there.
It's Carl's Tavern show we had, Master Hunter.
Yeah.
New Haven's a city.
New Havens, Indiana.
Master. Like so you're so technically you're only in 3 bands right now.
Yeah,
Resin, AD, Master Hunter, and Dwarf, obviously. Yeah. So those are the
and
3.
Comedy.
So drums, screaming.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck it. And then
I beat up things and yell at people.
And then he gets on stage and yells some more.
Exactly.
That's fun. So I guess it's yelling, or drums.
Jokes, drums. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's been a weird week. I mean, honestly, with everything going on, because like it literally was almost pretty much. I mean, you'd technically say less than a week, right? Because like, what time did they end up coming in?
It was exactly a week.
Exactly.
We got closed on Thursday. We reopened on Thursday.
Yeah.
Well, I got a call at work around noon, and Davina was crying.
Yeah.
And she was like, "They're taking the store, Uncle Messy. They're taking the store." And I was like, "You fight to the last." You hold on, Davina. I'm there. I'm on my way. Get over there. And she's crying. Or Kibbles was already there. She was already gone.
Yeah.
When I got there, and Kibbles was already there. And as soon as he got there, I called the number that he left, you know, and didn't pick up. So I'm like, I thought somebody was messing with us, you know. So I called the fire chief. I can't remember his name. Is
local fire chief?
Right down the road.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Well, what's the name of the guy that came in?" I was like, "Oh, Andy Dreschel." And he was, "Oh, great." Like he said that, and I was like, so I go, "So is he real?" Like, he goes, "Oh, he's real." And it was like, "Well, he said he's going to start arresting people." He's like, "No one's getting arrested. Calm down, And I was like, putting on speakerphone so Kibbles can hear too.
Yeah.
Because Davina left, she thought she was like a warrant for arrest.
baby.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I feel so bad for her.
How old is she? How old is
19?
19. Yeah,
19. Yeah, 19.
For her, probably. I mean, she is Kibble's daughter, but like she hasn't been brushed with the wall that much.
Well, not fire department. She's used to cops.
Yeah.
She can handle cops.
Red and blue is okay, but just red.
That's what I'm saying. It's like,
The cops know him,
yeah,
so
I
it's
never had a
fine.
fire marshal tell me to put my hands up.
That's true. I wouldn't know what to do either. I'm
I know.
What time was it? Because it was before this.
It was noon.
It was like noon,
And
okay.
then when I got there around 1 o'clock, I would say.
See that? So you guys opened at noon.
Yeah.
And they did it at
Yeah.
noon. So they checked the time to see what time you're
Yeah.
open to come.
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty. I mean, you guys are you guys typically open every Thursday?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wednesday do Sunday or Saturday.
Wednesday. And
But I'm thinking about opening on Sundays because today I was hanging out and cleaning up at the shop and 3 people came in asking for records. And the third one was a couple and then some older guy I wouldn't let in. But I was like, damn, I should let that couple in. It makes maybe they may not have bought anything, but still.
That's actually happened there was another Sunday when I
Yeah.
was leaving when you guys were practicing and I was walking out and there were people, oh, you guys open? Like, oh no, they're having
and
practice.
people checking the toy store too. Like 2 people checking the toy store.
yeah, the
Oh,
toy store is
man,
something that
yeah.
always gets hit. I swear.
Maybe
Yeah.
Sunday just through the summertime.
Yeah,
you know,
probably. Yeah,
when there's
summer
people out
hours.
walking around. You know,
Yeah, noon to 5.
'Cause you're usually there on Sunday hanging out
Yeah,
anyway. So.
yeah, noon to 5, watching football.
Yeah.
Hanging out at the coterie.
I mean, there's ways to do it. Yeah, because like they're
open
kind of double
Sunday.
dipping there on Sundays and shit. Yeah. Do you? Okay. So it took a week. So a week went by. So this Andy Dreschel guy came
Fire
through
inspector.
noon o'clock on a fucking Thursday, knowing we had comedy that night. What all did he say? Like, is there anything you can give us that would like?
But he came
Yeah,
back. to
he
talk to
came
you
back
guys.
later.
Yeah,
right?
he came back after he harassed Davina. I called him, made sure I called him, and he picked up. Second time I called him.
Yeah.
and he goes, "Well, are you at your store?" And I go, "Yes." And he goes, "Okay, we're on our way." When he said that, I went, "Okay, that's kind of."
Yeah.
I thought he meant like the fire chief or somebody. You know, like is he in trouble?
Because who is Andy? He's a local
He's fire inspector.
Local fire inspector.
Howard County.
Okay. Does he work for the
County.
fire marshal?
Yeah, the state is fire marshal. Yeah, the state
Right,
fire
okay.
marshal is in charge of everything.
Okay.
Basically the state.
And so he's like
that's-
the Howard County liaison kind of
Yes.
thing. Okay.
Yeah, he's in charge. He's supposed to go around. He does all the dirty work for the marshal.
Yeah.
Then the marshal come and veto it and do whatever he wants.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, basically.
So he's like the smoke before you get to fire.
Yeah. There it is.
There we go. No, but like, okay, so this guy comes in, he kind of.
But he came back with the energy, like.
And there
you
were
know,
3 of them.
Yeah,
3 of them this
Yeah,
time.
3 of them, and he came back with the energy, like he was on a mission
Yeah.
to shut me down.
Yeah.
Because he came in right away and goes, I go, well, what's the problem, officer?
What do you say to that? I don't know.
I was like, come on in, sir.
Doofy, you're pouring fire.
Because Kibbles can see my face is getting red, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Calm down, breathe,"
yeah.
you know. And I'm like, just biting my lip. I think my lip was bleeding. I can feel it, you know. And he just came in, and he was like, "Well, first off, you need a max occupancy permit, and you need an entertainment license." You know, I was like, "Well, first, I don't know who. You know, calm down. I don't know what this is. You know,
Yeah.
it's like any fire code I'm willing to." Change and stuff, you know, 'cause that's what I've heard. You know, they come in, say, "Hey, you can't do that." All right, let me fix it.
Yeah.
and then we're done.
Yeah, tell me what I need to fix.
But he wanted me closed because the entertainment thing.
Yeah.
That's all. Or the max occupancy, you know.
Well,
And
didn't he mention the event tonight can't happen?
Yeah.
So it's
The-
very
the
specific
comedy
about
show
the
can't
comedy.
happen.
I
So how did he know that there
I'm
was
not
an
even
event
open.
tonight?
We can get to that.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's what I'm saying. We can.
I don't know.
Well, I want
I
to
know.
start from
Well, we
the
don't now.
first time. I want to start from the first. So he
let's
says
walk
all
through
this,
it.
Right.
but basically you guys said he said something along the lines of it was political in some way, which I thought was interesting.
That's what he said to Kibbles.
Yeah.
Because Kibbles, you know, because we're walking through the whole thing. Because I go, I didn't ask for any paperwork because I already called the fire chief and he said he's legit.
Yeah.
You know, because I was like, okay, he's legit. You know, so he goes, well, he started naming off things that I needed. So I was like, well, hold on, let me get a piece of paper.
And it
let
was-
me
Yeah,
write
and I actually
down.
I can actually show
Yeah,
people a little
see,
bit.
that's
Like this
very-
is the
very
list.
stupid. Card.
Yeah, like the exit sign.
Yeah. Andy Eshelman.
Yeah, Eshelman. Yeah, Andy.
I thought we said Dreschel.
Or Dresselman. Yeah, Eshelman. Yeah,
Eshelman.
I think you did say Dresschel.
Yeah,
I know, this whole time.
Andrew Eshelman.
But
Sorry to
Andrew Eshelman.
Sorry, Andrew Eshelman.
But so basically it was like there was the fire extinguisher
Yeah.
was too high on the wall. Ceiling tile, there were some broken ceiling tiles and some missing ceiling tiles over our stage. They weren't even over the retail area. There was no GFI outlet in the bathroom, which is I knew that too, but
Yeah.
you know, we just haven't gotten
but
to
when
it
the
yet.
steak guy said, because they didn't see the one in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Because he said all you need is a GFI is around surrounding water.
If there's any water.
But I turned off that sink because that sink's turned off. He goes, if you'd have turned that sink on, like if it was a running sink, that would have been good enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. The bathroom still needs a GFI.
Does it? Well, that's the state guy said
because it's over the
water.
sink. It's by the sink in there.
Yeah,
now the other one, the other one, if we turn that one off, but like the one I knew that just from having houses inspected and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was stupid stuff like that. Then there was the. He told us we had to have there was a stove in the back that we had to get rid of.
Which is bullshit.
And then we'll get to the bullshit in a few.
But I just want to go. I want to run down because it's very interesting the things that they told you and then what you guys found out afterwards.
So he said we needed an emergency light in the office, which is our podcast room, because in case the power goes out.
What did he call it? Not mirror lights. Like memories, like it's something like down the hallway.
Yeah, it was something stupid that we couldn't remember the name of.
Like floodlights,
emerald lights, or
no, it's a pathway.
Yeah.
There's a word I can't think of the word either.
Yeah,
but it basically means like if all the darkness goes out, you need a light to get past the way.
like
out.
a fucking movie theater. You gotta follow the lights to go out.
Because he goes, "Why'd you put it in the office?" I go, "That's where he told me," and he goes. It would make more sense in the hallway.
Yeah, but we'll get to that.
Because it was an office and it's technically an office, and that's where people would be hanging out. Like,
I'm saying that was the other guy. That was Andy.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. But this is basically what Andy said is this is all the stuff we needed, but basically it's all bullshit. Now, other than the certificate of occupancy,
and the entertainment permit.
Max occupancy.
We can get to. I don't know when you want to get to the other thing, but
okay. So this all happens. He comes through. You write down a bunch of things. He never. He has a little thing on his shirt, but he never shows you a badge, right?
Never
leaves you with any paperwork. Never nothing.
He didn't sign a code.
Didn't sign nothing.
I didn't sign nothing. He didn't sign nothing.
So he just showed up, said you guys can't do anything tonight.
Yes.
And you asked him. You said why?
Can I work retail? I go, can I even be a retail shop? And he goes, you can't even do retail.
Yeah.
And I was like, why can't I just do retail?
It has nothing to do with all the entertainment
I'll put tape in front of the stage if I got to.
Yeah.
But I was.
But he said no. You got to be closed.
Yeah, because of max occupancy. That's.
Well, the other thing is that I know there was a question. I mean, this might be what you're getting ready to say, but a question about like, well, why didn't you guys do this when Mike was here? Like, why is it all of a sudden something? And he said something along the lines of.
That's what I said to Kivel. Kivel said that. Yeah.
That's when he said it's political.
Yeah. He's like, well, it's like it had something to do with political thing.
And that was also
weird to say.
Also to deal with Goodnight as well.
Yeah.
With the bar at Cooper's.
Yeah.
He also specifically said
Goodnight passed all of that stuff back then.
And he shouldn't have. Yeah. And that's something. I mean, that's completely separate what we're talking about because like that shit's gone, and that's one of the reasons why.
It's kind of like the Waco, Texas, and the Oklahoma semi bomb. They're linked.
They're linked, but they're not. That's what happened.
What did you say?
What?
Was there something you wanted to say?
What were you saying?
White terror.
You've been trying to say something for the last 5 minutes.
They also said that it wasn't that they cared about any of the other events. It was just the event tonight.
I didn't hear that.
No, they didn't say that specifically.
I didn't hear that.
But they did say the event tonight can't happen. They didn't say we don't care about the other ones. They said this tonight can't happen.
Because I asked about tonight. I go, can I do the show tonight? And he goes, no show tonight. No show until you get your entertainment certificate.
Yeah. Basically, and I mean, honestly, like the only two legit things. I mean, like other things obviously were important, but like, so let's fast forward. So you guys, luckily, we had some good people come through. Like you'd posted your Venmo, I think, and some people had sent some money trying to help us get right.
Shadow, I got worms.
Yeah,
that are playing May 3rd.
Hell yeah, there was a bunch of people. I mean, that donated, and then on top of that, we had the people from the guys from the Coterie came through and actually hooked you guys up.
Dustin, good.
Yep.
And they were dealing with the fire marshal already because they were getting Brick Street Deli, which check out Brick Street Deli when they open.
Tim Wells bled for Outhouse.
Hell yeah,
he did.
He crawled underneath that stage and ran because that was something that the state guy liked. We went above and beyond what Andy said, and the Tim Wells got under there and ran all electricity to the other side of the stage.
Yeah, because on that list you have at the bottom where it says commercial gauge, he didn't even say that, did he? We just did it because we wanted to make sure that everything was as good as we can get. So that was basically Dustin Ogle, they brought in Tim.
Yeah, because that was Dustin. That was Dustin's idea. Because Dustin was like, "How's your electricity?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Well, I think the electricity was okay because that's one of the things that that Andy actually said was we can't run extension cords off of
extension cords.
Yeah, like a power strip off an
extension cord.
Now so we can fast forward if you want.
Okay, so that all happens. He comes through.
List.
He comes through. You guys get the list that he gives you. That's apparently supposed to be legit. And then Dustin and the guy and Kyle and who's the other guy's name? The guy that bled for you, Tim, and they all come through. That's the electrician guy.
Yes.
And he comes through and he puts new like electric. He puts new fire exit signs. Like it looks amazing there. Honestly,
he even said he goes, if Andy says anything, say Tim Wells ran this.
Okay,
like he even said that.
He was a cool guy.
They knew his shit.
So all this happens.
But I even made my own clothes sign.
Yeah.
Like I even, it's pink and blue. It said temporary closed. Sorry. I wish I had a picture of that.
Well, so we closed for 7 days.
Yeah.
We had to cancel at least one event.
Yeah.
We tried to get it back on, but they couldn't.
You didn't know if you would be. So you guys
understood.
When you had asked, like, well, how do I get inspected or whatever? He said, I don't know what it's like. Kind of gave you a it might be a month or two, like type of thing.
He goes, redo everything. You just get up to code and then call me. We'll set up an appointment whenever I can.
Yeah,
that's kind of how it was. And I was like, oh shit, he can say July.
Yeah.
So we ended up losing a week of retail plus the one show of income, whatever.
Yeah.
But so we set up the appointment. Luckily, he was able to come back that Thursday morning.
Yeah.
So then he's there on Thursday.
This is not Andy. This is a different guy.
No, Andy shows up.
Oh, Andy does.
Andy
Okay, my bad. I apologize.
And Dustin calls me and he goes, I want to be there, to make sure Andy doesn't pull any shit. So I'm like, cool. Thank you. I have backup. That's why I felt like Geek Street and everybody backed me up.
Yeah,
and shit.
cool.
I love that. And shout out to Todd and all them out there.
Yeah, the toy store.
But he came in with a much better attitude this time, and he honestly
different person, totally different person.
Andy,
he had his laptop, he had badge on, he had his tablet. And
he walked through and he basically said everything was good.
Perfect.
So then he goes, well, you can't reopen until you get this other guy,
the
Mike,
entertainment.
Until you get the state fire marshal.
Yeah.
And he has to come in. He's like, well, that might be a while. That's what you're talking about. He's like, well, that could be a while. You never know. So he gave Jesse the number. Jesse steps outside, calls him. Turns out he was right around the corner.
And then you guys said he got nervous, right?
Yeah. So he walked in.
The state boy came in. Andy was like,
oh, I got something to do. I got to go.
He's going to talk your head off, guys.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to be here when he finds out how full of shit I am.
He's going to talk a lot of shit. Talk your head off. Don't listen to him. I'm out of here.
Yeah. About 5 minutes after he walked in, they talked a little bit. And then he's like, well, I got a 9:30. I got to get out of here. And he left. So then Mike, what's his name? Brantley. Mike Brantley.
The state fire marshal.
He's actually state fire marshal. Yeah.
Okay.
Now he comes in, super nice guy, super chill.
Professional. He was the first one that talked to Davina.
Okay.
Like 2 weeks before talking about the entertainment thing, because I thought somebody was fucking with her.
Yeah.
Because someone came in. They said really nice guy came in. He said he's cool, he's chill, don't worry about it. Remember that to Davina? And he goes, yeah, you need an entertainment something. And I was like, don't listen to him.
No. What happened was he came in. So we figured this out when we talked to Mike when he was there.
Okay.
So this is completely separate. This was a couple weeks before.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and he came in and asking for.
But what he said was, he realized that he forgot to go to the record store last year because he thought it was still American Dream. So he missed 2024. So he came in. What he did was he came by and he said, "Hey, just let his owner here."
He thought he knew the owner still. That's why. And I was like, I don't know that fucking dude.
She said she said he's not here, and he said, "Okay, well, just let him know I forgot to come by last year. Just tell him to update the certificate." And he left. So it wasn't even about the entertainment thing. It was he thought that the one Mike had set, he was just like, just redo it, whatever, it's fine.
The certificate.
Not even a big deal. Yeah. So, but then that's when because he thought it was still American Dream, he didn't even look at the sign when he came in.
Yeah.
So that's what it was. He didn't actually tell her we needed an entertainment thing, but he just said, well, tell him to redo it because he thought that Mike already had it because he thought it was just Mike. So the point is that
Andy came in and
so the actual state fire marshal had already come in before the city guy and was really cool.
Yeah.
And you didn't know what the hell was going on because he thought you were still Mike and it was you. And then so you kind of just blew it off, not thinking it was a big deal. And then Andy comes through with
friends
an
that
asshole
will fuck with me like that.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I might fucking do that to you.
Yeah, give $100 for entertainment.
Yeah, tell him to Venmo it to me.
But okay, so then fast forward, Mike comes, right? So he's there.
He's there now.
Andy leaves.
Andy books it.
So
he's gone.
So this is what we found out talking to Mike. Now let's go over the list here.
Yeah.
There's a fire extinguisher. We don't even need one.
Technically, we don't. He said
He said if it's on the floor, it has to be tagged correctly. But he said honestly, if you take it off there, put it in the back room. Because it's not a restaurant. You're not. What does he say?
People that are sleeping. Or restaurants. Anything with fire.
You don't do either one.
He said we don't have any of those. He's like, it doesn't even matter. You don't even need it.
Yeah, I can put it behind the counter with my shotgun.
Yeah.
So it was obvious. It was obvious that was just like nitpicky, and it was just like, oh, you got to do this, blah blah blah. All right, what's the next thing on the list? The ceiling tiles. He said ceiling tiles don't matter.
Yeah, he didn't give a shit.
He said
that was the weirdest one of all the list.
Yeah, he said that's not a big deal. The stove. He said we could have the stove.
Yep.
He said if you're heating stuff up in it doesn't matter as long as you're not making grease because then you need a
ventilation,
like a hood system.
Yeah, hood system.
But he's like, honestly, if you're just heating up pizzas and stuff, that's what we were doing.
I was doing for my daughter.
He's like, you could have had that stove forever. I wouldn't have cared.
Yeah. Like, I just cook bacon back there with my shirt off. That's all I do.
So then, what's the next one? I can't.
2 combo exit signs.
The exit signs wouldn't matter, but he said he can't shut you down for that. He's just like,
I would have told you to upgrade it, and I would
give you
year year. Yeah. I would've checked
GFI
on next
outlet
year.
and bathroom. You guys
Yeah.
found out that actually
He
could have
needed
been
that.
ran.
I needed that for the bathroom.
Well, he would have told us to do it, but he said he would give us 30 days.
He wouldn't have closed us down like what Andy
No
would've
way
done.
he would have closed us down.
The only two on this list that I think for sure were what? The certificate of occupancy and the state of entertainment.
Yeah, exactly. That's the two important ones.
But here's the thing. He said he still shouldn't have shut you down, though. He's like, if it
No.
was me, I would have given you 30 days. And
To
you
do it,
You
yeah.
could still have your events in the next 30 days. As long as you get that certificate in the next 30 days, it's fine.
Because there's just no reason to shut down a business that's not doing anything like really wrong. Like you're literally just operating normal, and you might not have known, and he didn't tell
He just wanted to
you.
whip his big dick out and
Yeah,
show his power.
Yeah, Andy.
Mike,
That's all it
Mike
was.
said that the only reason that they would shut you down is if the public were in danger if they
Yes,
came in here.
and they weren't.
He said there's no reason to shut you guys down. He said, why would he given you 30 days? Because he's the state guy. He's the
Yeah.
one that actually, he can tell Andy what to do. Andy can't tell him.
Exactly.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
he's the higher in the chain of
higher up
command.
guy.
Yeah.
And so then what's the next one? The emergency lights. Yeah, he basically said that was
Yeah,
bullshit.
30
So that
days.
doesn't make any
Coil
sense.
of 12.
Well, no, remember he said verbatim, I wouldn't. There was no fire code to be.
Yeah. He
Shut
said,
down for it.
he said there was
So-
no fire code to be shut down for
It
at
was
all.
the
So the main
certificate.
thing here
Even
is
the
that
certificates didn't matter.
So
Go ahead.
even the main thing here is you guys were not a fire hazard whatsoever.
No.
Nothing on this list was a true thing. Even the couple of things that were basically just like
Yeah.
licensing
Max
things.
occupancy is
He
the
would have
biggest
given you
one.
30 days to figure that out.
Yep.
And if he would have came through and he would have caught you, let's say he would have caught you the day Davina happened, you
Yeah.
probably would have just got told to get the licenses and that'd have been the end of it.
Exactly, yeah.
And you wouldn't even got shut down
I
or
already
nothing.
got shut down.
That's
Nothing.
exactly what he said. He said, here's the thing. If I tell you to do something and then I come back and you haven't done it and it feels like you're defying me on
Yeah.
purpose, then maybe I would
like
take
what
action.
Cooper's Pub did.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
talk about that.
That's
a layer.
That's a
thing.
different thing because you're talking. Now,
it was
I don't
cheap-
want to
it
get
was-
into
it
that
was
because
cheaper for
you're
them to
talking
pay
about
the
his
violations.
perspective. You're talking about his
Yeah.
perspective on things that happened. But Jackie showed up later than all that shit started, and then on top of that, this is the part that pisses me off: is when the owners got the place at Cooper's Pub, they were told they could use the basement.
Yeah.
two
That's what I'm
fucking
saying.
rooms.
That's what I'm saying.
And then they were lied, and then the fire marshal came
through. It was cheaper to pay the violations than it was to redo the whole fucking thing.
Exactly. And then the fire marshal comes in and shuts it down finally because there was a complaint.
Exactly.
And that's really where it came from, the complaint. And that's where we think a certain guy from a certain area. And that's where like it feels like the fucking he's the angel of death when it comes to the fire marshal, like or at least Andy Eschel or whatever. Because like all of a sudden, we try to do something and all of a sudden, like within a week or a couple of days, he shows up.
Yeah. So here's the other thing. Getting back to like what you were talking about earlier, Courtney.
sorry.
So.
We'll shut up.
No, it's fine. I'm just saying. I have a lot of
just happy to
information in
be
my
here,
brain.
guys.
Yeah.
I've listened back to the conversation a couple
Have you?
times, so it's in my brain.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
How do I sound?
Jovial.
Effeminate.
No,
Yeah, stop
Is the audio
you're
fine?
jovial and Kibbles is a little brown nosy.
He is very brown nosy. I was like, Jesus, Kibbles.
That's
I,
why
Like, calm down. You're saying too much. You're talking too much.
I was like,
That's
buy him
because Kibbles
dinner.
is a snitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
It's like you're talking too much. Calm down.
Yeah.
No. So one of the other key things that came out of this conversation with Mike, the state guy, is he said. The first thing he said when he first walked in, he said something about, he asked about the stage, and he said, okay, so when you guys do comedy shows here, what do you like? How you would assume there's a drum set up there, and you assume we do comedy shows? That right there told me someone tipped him off.
Well, no, because
So-
he was told that the Kokomo Press Cooper's was trying to do their comedy, trying to do illegal shit, switching from there to my place.
Oh,
So
That's what he was told.
This is
That's
what he
I'm
said.
saying.
That's
what he was
hilarious.
told.
The first
Cooper's has nothing to do with
I
it.
know.
Yeah, the first clue was he said when you guys do comedy here, blah blah blah. So then me and Kibbles looked at each other like, why does he assume comedy? Then later on, he literally said that. He said, well, I came through a couple weeks back and I just told him to redo it because I thought it was the same business. That was that story. And then he said. And then a couple weeks later, I got a call from Andy
Cooper's.
and the other guy telling me that the comedy
Cooper's moving.
comedy is moving down the road to the record store.
Verbatim, Cooper's comedy. That's what he said.
So basically, Andy called Mike and said, "Hey, there's comedy going on down the road here. We need you to go check it out." So that means somebody called Andy and said, "Hey,
they're doing
this
it down at
comedy that
Outhouse.
moved down here is now going on down
Close
here. So
them down.
So go down there." It's
Exactly
so
how it
obvious at
happened.
this point.
Yeah.
Like
So somebody called. So here, the main thing that I want people to take away from this was, you guys had zero fire violations. You guys needed an entertainment license and a certificate of occupancy, which the state fire marshal said if he would have came through, he would have given you 30 days at least to get it.
Yep.
You know,
Actually,
and then
you get 1 year in the entertainment one.
Yeah.
Like you have to
Okay,
get
and then
updated
the
every
main
year.
thing is when he shows. So the first guy that shows up, the city guy, says that it was a political reason why that he was
That
called
Mike
out.
got away with it.
And then the new guy, the Mike guy, that from the fire marshal says he was called over specifically for comedy. So that really. So when I put out my live and I was like, "This is what's going on. Here's what I think. This is suspicious. I'm not trying to be conspiracy. I'm not saying
there's some
this
truth.
actually happened.
There's some truth in
But when
there.
you go through and you finally get all the information, we get all the ducks in a row, and you guys are now open for business because it was literally like that.
Yeah.
He was like, honestly, you did these two, and you already had them done. the biggest thing from it was
we were ready the next day.
It was shut down because he was told comedy was moving. It was politically motivated. You had no violations, and at the end of the day, it should have never fucking happened in the first place.
Yep.
You were not an issue of public safety, which is the main thing I need people to understand. Because I did have a friend of ours who posted something along the lines of, "Well, if it's a public safety issue," and I'm like, it's not.
No.
It was political, and it was about comedy. And whether or not the specific person that I assume or that I feel like, or that the person that runs Cooper's believes called on them, if it wasn't him specifically, it's something adjacent there, because we do know for a fact that the Ryan Hall event and venue place does a lot of things with the mayor, and does a lot of things with the county commissioner.
The Giant Hall.
Yeah, the Giant Hall.
The Giant Hall.
The Swine Hall. That's what I like to call them, the Swine Hall.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is, I don't know. I don't know what I was going to say, honestly.
You want to be, to me, my big thing is like, even in my live, I was like, I'm not saying he did it, but I am saying that every time he shows up, because that's the other part that we kind of left out, is how many days before the fire marshal guy or the city fire official showed up, how many days before that did Gary walk into the building? Because that dude came in, right?
Once.
Well, so that was a misunderstanding. So I thought that he come in since we had the stage.
I talked to him in the WWE event.
Yeah, that was in November, though.
Okay.
I was thinking, I thought somebody said he came in.
Kibble said something about him, but I was like, I
he
didn't
came in
see
after the stage and like complimented the stage or something.
Kibble. I think Kibbles wanted him to compliment. He just wanted compliments on the stage.
I don't know. I don't remember that, but like I said, that's all I can remember.
But I remember him coming in, and, I'm talking, I was like, I got this. It's like, have you arrested me before? Like, I had that, old cop
Got
vibe.
a cop vibe?
Yeah, and he was like,
he is a former police officer.
Yeah, and
Is he?
Yeah, he's a retired cop, and I was like, okay. And he goes, I love to see local businesses thrive and stuff like that. I'm like, that's cool. It's cool. Like, what do you own? He goes, I own Ryan Hall down the street. I was like, oh, that's cool. And like, I remember we were talking about he's like,
but it is that gamesmanship thing, because there is a feeling of like he feels like he's in competition with anybody doing something similar than what he's doing.
But Kibbles made sense though. He goes, well, he wasn't talking about your business. He's talking about his own.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And he was also, and also he was dealing directly with another venue, the Gasworks, was going to open. They were all kind of being buddy, and then the Gasworks got called too, and got kind of the same week or the same day.
That place
in the city.
They needed the fire marshal.
Yeah, he ain't gonna pass no fire code
for
there.
sure. But my thing is like,
I love you, Ben.
all this stuff the people that are in the same lane for some reason it gets a phone call.
Weird. It's a little weird.
But
it's
we
a little
do need
awkward.
to get Gasworks up to code, so we need to get on that shit. I'll give you some money. I'll donate some shit.
Yeah, let's
we need to get the Gasworks going.
I will say this too. I mean, it probably is a good thing that because we didn't know any about a lot of this stuff.
No.
And even though it wasn't necessary to shut us down, and it wasn't necessary to cancel events, it wasn't necessary of any of that stuff. I do kind of I like having the stuff, like it's a lot cleaner.
It's
in
a
there
peace
now.
of mind now.
We've set up a lot of stuff that I actually do like the way it's set up now.
Dekibblized it.
Yeah, but it's like it wasn't necessary, but I mean it was probably a good thing at the end of the day. But we shouldn't have been shut down for it 100%.
No, but I'm saying I did comply, so that that's the one thing Kyle told me. He goes, just don't fuck with the city. Just do what they say,
because they'll make things worse.
Exactly.
We went.
That's my job.
We went above and beyond too.
Fuck with the city.
We went above and beyond too, and we did everything that he asked and more.
Well,
we did more.
I just know at the time I was super racked with guilt, and part of it was because like
you should have been.
I know. I did want you guys to get dragged into some stupid bullshit, and that's kind of what happened. And it's like and I do feel like if you got, because you guys have been operating for 8 months, done music shows, like we did our first open mic. Now if we'd have done the open mic, we ended up let's shout out to Demure Lounge for giving us a place to go.
Those guys are awesome.
They were sweet. Dom and Craig and those guys were great. Appreciate them. Shout out to the Kokomo Post and Drew Larison for help hooking that up in the last, because if they wouldn't have done that, we would have had nowhere to go.
Yeah.
I mean, we just met my homeless open mic. Imagine that. But like all that happened, and then we moved over there. The amount of people we had in that room, if they would have been in Outhouse Record, it would have been packed. It'd been decent.
It would have been amazing.
But like when we did the open mic this last week, which I do want to show, because we do have some pretty cool photos from that night for
stage.
I haven't seen those yet.
Yeah, there's a couple of photos here.
That's cool.
I mean, and this was.
Oh my god, that fat mother.
It was pretty like we kind of, the first time we ever did it. A lot of great comments came out. A lot of people whose faces you've seen a million times with Kokomo Press Comedy.
What was his name?
Justin
again?
Seymour.
Dude,
hilarious,
he was hilarious, dude. Yeah.
And then of course Cortni. And I think I have. Do I have one of Willis? I do somewhere. Let me.
I know. I saw. I was out there in the front, smoking in front of the Kokomo in the outhouse, and I saw Ouija
Yeah.
walking from the
I think he went to
garage.
Ryan Hall.
There she is.
And he walked
There's
her.
Lilith.
That was my daughter. Yeah, she was roasting.
There she is, roasting Courtney. So
But
easy.
He walked,
so easy.
He walked right in front of Cook McDougal's.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw
And
that.
then he turned and went up towards Union and went up to Ryan Hall.
It's funny because somebody said, I think we just saw Ouija, the angel of death. The other angel
Someone
of
was
death.
getting ready to yell at him. They go, hey. I go, dun, 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 dun. I go, let him walk. He doesn't see
I
us.
feel
Nothing funnier than imagining Ouija doing the Ryan Hall event.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Let him go to Ryan. Let him go to
Remember,
Ryan.
I said it's like a filter that all of the people go through there to
Oh,
get
yeah.
to us.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like Boomer City over there. No,
Yeah.
like so obviously, our community of comics, we built a strong community over the last 15 months of comedy in Kokomo. And like, obviously I would say we skew between the ages, I would say like mid 20s to like maybe like mid 40s. That's like where we would be in we get people a little bit higher, a little lower, but that's where I would say. But I would say between I was like 30 I would say that would be the median age between 30 and 35. And so we have a decently young millennial.
I just like
Mike.
offending people. That's my
I know that's your
offensive comedy.
But now, over there, obviously, when they did their mic, it's being ran by Randy Maurer, who is the principal of Eastern Elementary
Is he?
School. Yeah.
It sounds like a teacher.
Yeah.
Your former
And
father.
Yeah, my former father. He wants to be my daddy so bad.
Yeah, when I saw that stool, I saw Dan West's name on it. I was like, oh no.
No, he's out of town. I messaged him. I was like, "Hey, are you going to be in town tonight?" Because I know he's been on the road so
Yeah.
much doing dates. He like booked all of his
Yeah,
own
hit that.
dates, and he's kicking it. He's kicking ass. But he's ready to get back in town. He messaged me about Outhouse and was like, "How'd it go?" Like he wanted to know.
Good. I can't wait to see him on stage.
I will say this was a beautiful sign. Oh, this was a beautiful sign of the day.
Yeah,
just
that's
sitting
a good
outside
shot.
Outhouse.
I like that. That's a good shot.
Who did
Oh,
that? Who
what's
has
it?
the sign?
I did that.
Courtney. I'm just kidding. It was you.
Since you got me closed down, that sign stays at the shop.
Hell yeah. You can't take this. And this is the
sign
other one.
stays there.
So you got to take
Yeah.
this one as well. This is a great. I need to untangle that. But yeah, fun first night.
Yeah, I
Outhouse.
liked it. That's
It
cool.
was great having Justin Seymour come out from Lafayette because he had just left a festival in Miami. He's been on the road for a
And you
minute.
can go to Coterie right there and get your
Yeah,
food.
yeah,
I got
yeah.
me a hangover burger, walked it right back to the Outhouse.
Fuck, we went
It's
to
not that
Mojo's and
hard.
got coffee before.
Yeah, I
That
love
was
it right
nice.
there downtown. And
Yeah.
so you just love it. Just go everywhere.
That was my biggest thing when we knew Cooper's was going under was like, man, I don't want to leave downtown because I just love being
Yeah,
downtown.
exactly, yeah.
Like I mean, if you're a bigger fan of Cooks, you can just go to Cooks and get a
Exactly,
drink
yeah.
there and bring it over with the Dora.
coffee.
It's like 50 cents more or $1 more for the Dora cup, and you can just
Yeah.
walk around.
Yep.
You can triple fist. You
Yeah.
got a third fist somewhere. No, but it was fun.
Actually, no,
man.
they had a meeting about that. There was only one cup per hand.
Oh, okay,
When they were
cool.
talking about
That's
that.
hilarious.
Because
One
people,
cup
they
per
said,
hand.
They go, what? They have like 8 Dora cups?
Yeah.
They're walking down city down Sycamore Street.
Dude, I was trying to see if they say 1 cup per hand, I mean, like,
Yeah.
can we get
yeah,
some?
exactly. A little 2 hand.
Yeah, 2 hand. Fucking
I
double
grab
fist.
I can do like that. Open my hands up. Like
Has anybody done Edward Dora hands yet?
Yeah.
Because I'm going to do Edward Dora hands so bad.
That's a skit. Right
That's a
there.
skit right
Dora
there.
hands.
And then you're empty and you're like, fuck.
You're running from the cops. Beer
It's Edward
flying
Dora hands.
Well, they don't put lids on them, do they?
No.
So it's like you'd be like,
They try to put the lids, but they keep popping off.
Yeah.
So
By the time they catch up to you, it's all spilled out anyway,
Yeah.
so you're not in trouble.
Yeah.
No, it's fucking. I mean, it's funny, man. To me, like I had a blast doing it. Obviously, this week I won't be there. I'm actually going to be in Indy at this show called the Fringe Pro Am Open Mic, and
Nice.
that's being ran by Evan Ham. It's gonna be fun, man. It's a free show, but I'm gonna be one of the pros, which is hilarious. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
I'm a pro.
I'm the am.
and so
I'm the am.
you're the am. You'll be the
The
am.
am.
And brought to you by Ginger
Pro am.
House. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Zach DeSuba, I met him at the roast. He
Where's
was
that
very
at?
funny.
Lafayette?
No, that's in Indy at the Fringe
Oh,
Theater.
Indy.
And then Chelsea Snedden, I met her. She's a huge like fan. Stratton Smith was in it, and I haven't met Aisha. She's the only one I haven't met yet. So it's gonna be fun as fuck. I'm gonna be there. And Brian was supposed to be back, but he won't be. So this week's gonna be very Outhouse heavy.
Hey,
Everybody.
you remember Ian
I'll still be
Fidance?
there.
Yeah.
Ian Fidance is playing upstairs at Helium.
When?
In June.
June.
Yeah, I think.
He's the one that's by.
Yeah.
Ian Bydance.
Yeah, Ian Bydance.
Ian
I was like,
Byman.
It's like, if you're going to get some Special K and acid, go hang out with
He's got the funniest mustache on the planet, dude. I love his mustache, dude. He's a funny dude. But I'll be there, and then like I've also put this out this week for people so they can kind of see the dates because I'm like trying to figure
I saw
out.
that. That's cool.
Isn't it cool if I may be joking, maybe singing?
Well, like
upcoming
your hand, you're
performance?
like either have comedy or bands.
I was
Which
gonna
one do
pick
you
a
want?
better one where I look cuter, but
Yeah.
I was like, nah, this looks cool. But I actually one of the things I wanted to talk about this week for sure was the fact that so I was talking to some of my indie buddies when I was at Planetary and I was at Liberty Street and I was talking to them about Helium. I was like, is it worth doing the Helium open mic? And they're like, yeah, you should because it's a different vibe. You'll see what we're talking about. And I was like, well, how easy is it to get on the list? And they're like, well, usually you have to know somebody or just sign up like like a month or two, and then finally you end up on there, and I was like, okay, I'll do that. And so I was like, this week I'm going to start signing up. So I was like, I think they opens up at like noon on Thursdays until like Friday at like noon, and they close it. And that's all they do. And sometimes they close it early if they get too many. Apparently they get 100 people every week. They get 100 people that sign up. I think there's only 30 on the list, so 70 people get turned away. So I'm like, okay, I'll fucking do it. I'll see how it goes. And then this week I get this email. I've been selected to perform, so I'm going to be there, man.
Dude.
Fucking exciting.
Yeah.
We do it on Tuesdays?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so Tuesday I will be in Indy at Helium. Tickets are $5 if you want to show up. Tell them you know me, and you get in for $5. It is a 2-item minimum, so
code name Danger.
Could be worse though. Could be a 2-item minimum at a church bar. So at least it's not that.
At least it's actually a comedy club, though. I mean,
ear. It's a joke.
I'm over here, Brian. See, I was writing like my set list for the Indie Fringe show, for the Pro-Am show, because it's supposed to be like a tight 5 because then after we do, this is really cool. The Pro-Am show is really cool because after we do our sets, all the pros, we sit and then the amateurs come up and then we give them advice. So it's going to be kind of cool. So if I go up there and I fucking bomb.
Hey, when you go up there, look for David Brooks.
David Brooks?
Yeah, he's a black comedian up there.
Yeah,
he does a lot of shit up there. Be like, hey, Messi and Tony sent me.
Messi and Tony? Oh, yeah. He's trying to get me in trouble. I know. He already told me before. The Mel, I already know. You're going to get me, dude. Not going to the Mel.
I didn't know for the longest time there wasn't upstairs. And Dave's the one that showed me upstairs. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah,
at Helium?
Yeah. For the longest time.
I'm excited.
I was going to Crackers and shit. Crackers was my jam right there at the Vogue.
Yeah.
It's
gone now.
Not downtown. I like the Broad Ripple one.
It's gone now. They all gone.
But I like Helium. I know I like the Morty's comedy joint.
Yeah.
I love that place too.
Steakhouse?
It was a Mexican restaurant.
Yeah.
Where's the Fringe?
Indie Fringe. I don't know exactly where
what
it's
was
at.
The address?
I have no idea. I haven't even looked at it yet.
I haven't heard of
figure that out. But apparently, when I posted that I was doing it, Greg Lindbergh, comic out of Lafayette, we all know, is from Kokomo, but he lives in Lafayette. He said that's where he wanted to do his one-man show. Like he wants to do a one-man show there. That's where he loves that theater.
Like John Leguizamo.
Yeah, he's gonna be up there. Like, hey guys,
I'm American.
No, I'm just messing. I'm excited. He's
Dude,
fucking wild.
Yeah, we do a one-man show. I'll do my land in Caucasia, where I came from.
Courtney's had a weird week, man. She's been really
She's like me mugging people all day.
She's been putting her feet together.
You got anything to say?
No,
What do you think
I'm just
about
glad to be here.
What do you think about our house? You think we should have been closed down?
Yeah.
Tell us about the feet, though. Tell us about the feet.
What's this feet thing?
This guy
bunions.
just messaged me and he's like, do you do modeling
So you did get my email.
Yes. I replied. What was the message? Hold on.
For real, what did he say?
He wanted to know if I did modeling or
You don't need to be perfect. You can just tell us without
personal modeling or modeling for
nude.
No, advertisements.
I feel like he started the conversation did you do any
And
modeling?
I said, not really,
always
but I've
starts.
done it for friends. Like
That's
I said,
how it
I'm not
starts.
professionally, but I've done things
I go,
for
hey,
friends.
Greg, we'll learn the drums.
In comedy,
And
you
you
say
eat skins.
in comedy if you want to meet a girl, you're like, hey, you want to write together?
Yeah,
you want to write together? That's the
get together
line.
and write some shit down.
So this guy asked if you model, and then slowly it devolves into him asking.
And then I said, and then he said it would be essentially feet modeling, and I was like, "Is this a personal use?" And he
joking?
said yes. And then he made a joke about and then he told me, he sent me some examples of what he wants. He just wants it's like a voyeurism where he just wants to watch my feet while I pretend he's not there.
Yeah, so it's like he just wants you to set up a hidden cam, foot cam.
Like a hidden camera. I pretend like he's not there, and he wants me to wear certain pantyhose and just record my feet.
Yeah, can you wear specifically what I want you to wear? But I don't even know that you're doing it.
So
I have no idea.
ASMR kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't.
She just moved.
No, he was very
specific.
specific about
No sound.
he wants sound.
He wants sound.
Very specific about the liner on the pantyhose and how it needs to be on all the toes.
Yeah.
Shout out that
Very
guy for being so bold to be able to do this.
Symmetrical.
That takes some ball. He's a fan of this podcast, by the way, because he knew about the podcast.
I don't know that he knew about it prior. I think he's
Weird feet
saw that I was
fucker.
on one and was like, I think that I could ask her to. He wanted
Hopefully
me
it's
to,
not our homies from the garage talk.
No, I hope it is. I hope it's somebody I know.
It's somebody. He's somebody you know. 100%.
Is it a fan
I
of the
don't-
Now
podcast
you're
or
just
somebody on the
somebody.
podcast?
Well, hey, and if he wasn't a fan of the podcast before, he is now. So shout out that guy.
Maybe.
Hey, come out to Outhouse Records and I'll give you half off.
Like I said, that's a bold move. Like, hey, you like modeling? Hey, just take this video.
Yeah,
and he
you have to give me a word. Courtney will give me a word that a secret word you have
He's so
to tell me.
specific
I'll
about
you
it.
half
I'm
off.
just like, a man knows what he wants. I respect that.
Yeah.
Well, every man knows what he wants. It's women that can't make up their fucking mind.
Mess is giving him selling fruit by the foot at Outhouse Records for this
yeah.
guy. Fruit by the
He also
Hey,
said he has other friends that.
All right, I'm gonna get myself one of those.
I'll have her step on anything you want.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I asked him if I needed to put anything between my toes.
So you're officially
And
a
then I
foot model.
remembered-
You are a foot model.
And then I remembered that I sent you those pictures of the carrots for.
Yeah, which were for my use. You're not allowed to
Yeah,
give those up.
sorry.
I forgot
Those were
about that.
free, and it was bullshit.
Yeah, I use those too. So
Well, I was like, I'll just use A. I was like, this is a weird thing to bring up to her because I'm like, I think it'll be funny if because it's such a quick bit in the whole skit, but it's really if you watch that it's To Catch a Predator North Pole edition.
yeah.
If you watch it, it's so funny, good dude. Like everybody in this room is in it in some capacity, other than me. Actually, I don't think I'm in it. I'm just the guy with holding the boom.
Cameraman.
You're
I'm holding the
a
boom.
boom
Make a cameo.
box.
Yeah, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
I love
That's your
that.
only.
And then, but I was like, I know this format so well from when I used to watch him with Brian all the time. We used to laugh about him. So I was like, I know this format well. I think I'll be able to. And then so I wanted to do he was like, send me pictures of. I want to know if you're real. Send me pictures of carrots and because he's a fucking.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
Well, I like this. I like this year because you gave us more freedom to improv and stuff.
Well,
That's what I liked about it.
to this year
'Cause
with
me,
that,
I like to throw shit against the wall and see what sticks.
well, one of those things with that type of video specifically is in my head, I'm like, I'm going to have to format it from the footage.
Yeah.
I can't pre-format it or it won't feel good. It will feel weird. And we had Jordan Bell, shout out to Jordan and Kim for letting us use their home. They have so many Ring alarms, Ring cameras around their house. They live in a fucking police state. But you go through there and it's there's so many that we just kept using different angles. It was fucking badass to be able to
it looks really cool.
It made it look way legit. I remember there were two comments that I remember specifically from the video of random people. One of them was like, wow, you guys really nailed the format
Predator,
or the beat.
Yeah.
And somebody else was like, this was fucking stupid.
Hey, both those things are true.
Absolutely, it's stupid, dude. Of course. Why do you think we're doing it? Such a dumbass video. But we loved it. It was fun as fuck to do. And it was goofy.
Fun.
That one was good. I mean, we just had so many cool.
And Kibbles just looked like a smelly elf. I love it.
No, he was a reindeer. He was a reindeer.
Reindeer elf identifying as a reindeer.
Oh, yeah. It was something weird. We didn't want to go too deep in specifically what was happening there, but we knew he wasn't actually a reindeer.
Yeah.
But he was pretending to be one. But yeah, it ended up, and then the end of it, I was trying to figure out how we would end it, and then with you grabbing her and walking out was really fun.
Yeah.
It ended up working.
And then I was
out
like,
well.
she didn't return to work. Or they lost her.
This was mess. I was like, this is probably my favorite mess thing that we've done because we've done a few things, but this one I was like, this one's gonna be. And plus the year before, we were trying to find people.
That was
Santa
us in the
Claus.
other room talking shit about how it should go and planning it before he went over there.
Well, I had been Santa Claus before.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've also been a kidnapper before,
I
so
have kidnapped as Santa Claus before.
How the mess stole Christmas.
yes.
I learned from Tim Allen. Good man.
Tim Allen.
Good man.
My big thing with all that was just.
Which I love that he brought up all these ideas. He goes, the original script he shot Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Instead of him falling off the roof. And that's why he signed on it because it was so funny. He accidentally shooting Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's so
and they're like, Tim, we can't open this movie with you killing Santa Claus. And he goes, you kill every other adult Disney movie.
That's true, yeah.
Hell, let me shoot Santa Claus.
Mufasa
You guys killed Bambi's mom. Yeah.
I want to be in those office buildings of him, fighting for that. I will die on this hill, damn it.
I wonder how many Santas have died before that, though.
Like, what if you scare him and he just falls down? He's like, ooh.
But what happened to the other Mrs. Claus, though?
It's like in The Sims where you can't kill Santa, just another one shows up.
The old Mrs.
I'm the only one that would get that.
If Santa Claus dies, Mrs. Claus becomes the Tooth Fairy. She becomes, which is a bit we did as well.
So you get demoted to the Tooth Fairy.
Yeah, you get demoted.
You go from Easter Bunny to Santa Claus to the Tooth Fairy. Or
Yeah.
probably Santa Claus first.
Well, you guys both
Santa
played
Claus
Santa.
is king shit.
Yeah.
You guys both played Santa this year.
Well,
Yeah.
he's an imitation of the real
I also
Santa.
played Santa.
Yeah.
He's the most decorrated mall Santa in all of the
ever.
Midwest
Yeah,
chapters of the
that
Simon
was
Mall
awesome.
I
system.
mean, without him, he couldn't spread the joy.
Yeah. To me, it was so fucking funny doing those skits because we always go into it with an idea of where we're gonna go, but this year
goes crazy.
there weren't literal scripts because in my head I was like, the only literal script I think that was written. There were two that were written. The one that Sean's skit about what it was about, the girl going home for not necessarily a Hallmark Christmas.
Oh yeah, the Hallmark.
And then the other one that Brian wrote, the Red Hat Christmas, was basically a skit. He wrote the he actually wrote the two that I wrote are like kind of, you know,
just outlined.
I was like, I'm gonna outline, and I wanted to do the same thing we did with like the Dedicini is like, let's just like writer's room it. And like Brian was like, I think Brian loves the writer's room more than ever because of what we did with you down in
the basement.
Yeah, because that everybody like fucking Jeremy was throwing ideas, like BDR was in there, Ricky was throwing ideas out, Big Dick Rick. Everybody was. It was fun, man, doing that back and forth. Like I think that's something we're gonna do with Sean's new ideas with Donut House. You know, what I mean? I think we should writer's room it. I mean, we were talking about it the other day, and we got a great idea.
Glazed and blazed.
There was a lot of good ideas. Yeah, that was just us hanging out there. You can imagine.
Yeah, goofing. Yeah. We were like, take it seriously and sit in a room and actually like
tires, but with donuts.
Yeah,
So I was going to talk to you about that because I've been working on the script again for Breaking the Dwarf Wall 2.
Oh shit!
And basically, we have an outline. I have a script almost done.
Yeah,
but the dialogue and like. It needs jokes poked in, and it needs like funny dialogue. And I want to set up a writer's room with like all of us. Like I want to do a writer's room first, and I want to invite you and maybe some people.
And I'm always down.
You know, you and like have everybody hang out and just basically go over and like and throw in funny lines like dialogue. You know what I mean? Because right now I have placeholder dialogue in there, but it's just like
it gets cheesy.
It gets the point across and it moves the story forward.
Yeah.
Exactly, it's too expositional, and I want to add a bunch of jokes to it. So I want to have a whole day where we go in for a couple hours and just like
that'd be cool.
Just write jokes.
And you guys have the perfect room in the back there. Just set up another fucking table, and we'll just all stand.
And then after that, I do want to do a table read. Like we'll actually do a table read of the whole movie, and then actually
like start the day as a table read. What we're going to shoot that day.
How many characters with lines in it do you guys have? Like, do you know? Is it crazy? 7?
It's not a ton. There's a lot of ours. It's me and him and Kibbles. A
lot of us three. And
Bernie Tanner has a lot of lines. Honestly, it's
not even 7.
There are other ones too, but like they're like 1 or 2 lines here and there. Like there's a lot of
extras.
There's a lot of guest cast characters that come in, but they're only there for like one scene.
But most of the scenes are just the 3 of you.
Yeah, most of it's us, and then Bernie, and then we've
Jeremy's in it as well, right? He is Doctor.
Yeah, he's in
Dr. McGuffin.
Yeah.
And he's got some lines at the very beginning, and then we've got like Austin as Beelzebubbles. He'll have some lines later on.
Nick has like no line. He shouldn't talk.
Yeah.
Nick Atlantis Morissette.
But anyways, that's something in the future we're gonna figure out. But I want to do that. I want to have like a writer's room to write dialogue and punch up the jokes. You know what I mean?
It's always fun, and it's fun to do that too, especially with our group. I think that's actually where I thrive more than anything, and a lot of us, that's where we all thrive, is when somebody has a good idea and we all can like sit down and like just poke at it for a couple hours. I think the
whole movie might even change.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think he wants to keep the outline.
I don't want to change the movie. Like I've been working on the script for 5 years, so I want to keep the movie the same. But I want to write jokes. I want to make the dialogue funnier and write jokes. Basically, just punch it up, make it funnier.
We can stay within the bounds of the storyline and just throw jokes in there.
Yeah.
Because you
could write a lot of dialogue and stay within the same scene, but make the dialogue funnier. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sean actually sent me Donut Hose, like the original script, and we've already kind of made a couple of changes because I told him.
Does he have a whole script done, like the whole thing?
He has an outline of like I say every scene, but it's not every scene. He has an outline of like the major scenes, like the major plot points of the movie, which I think is really important because at least you can map. Yeah, you can map that. He has it set up as scenes, but honestly, like I think we changed the ending a little bit, and we've done a couple of things already in the beginning because like he went straight from like the opening scene's really badass because it's like a miscommunication, like terrorism thing, and then he wanted to go straight from that to go into the donut shop, and I'm like, well, let's get the guys reamed out by their supervisor first. I'm like, there's some things that we can do here to make it.
Yeah,
I'm thinking a mixture. It's going to be a mixture between the other guys, 21 Jump Street, and Super Troopers. Like that's what I see at those 3, and those are all great films.
That's what I got from
all wrapped in like a TV show.
Yeah. Well, no, he wants a movie.
A movie,
straight up movie.
See, I see it like a TV show, like episodic.
Yeah.
TV shows are so ambitious.
Yeah. It's too hard.
We've dealt with that.
We found out the hard way that
we spent months working on one episode. It didn't even get finished. And it's like
the problem is you do one episode, you finally fucking finish it, you get the editing together, then you go to the second episode and somebody got a different haircut, and you're like, fuck,
that's the problem. Like because like no shade to Canary Currency.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of pioneering around here to inspire us to do a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But like James Wright, for example.
Yeah.
Every episode, he looks like a different dude. Like his hair's different or something. It's like, and that, it just takes the immersion out. Okay. And I think that's why it's really hard to do that with local.
If you can keep it in a movie, like even like if you do like a second movie, you could still like knock it out because you can have a different look for the whole movie. But yeah, I think the TV show thing was something we wanted to do. I think maybe if you did like a mini, not even like a mini series, maybe like you could do like a quick mini series. But even then, it would be tough because you're basically asking people to like keep their same look. Don't just trim your beard or
it's like a.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Well, it's like that
documentary.
We talked about that a little bit because with Ultra Joy, the TV show that never got released that we were working on.
Yeah.
We wanted to do longer episodes. We wanted to do 20-minute episodes, like a normal TV show. But like I said, we worked a couple months on that, and I feel like we put so much work in, and we didn't even get the climax of the episode done.
No.
And it's like. It's so ambitious that it's hard.
We almost did, and we overlooked one thing.
So only mini movies.
Yeah. I think like full movie. I think a full length would work. I think obviously Breaking the Dwarf Wall is one. Like we have 3. I'm actually 4 because you have a couple ideas too. I know
Shadow Band
is hilarious.
Yeah.
That's an interesting story.
Yeah.
I like the concept of it. And then
we also got Dead Genie 2.
Fucking aliens, man.
Dead Genie 2. I feel like she already got one. She's going to be on the back burner.
Well, that's going to be after that.
I got the first one.
Yeah, you already got it.
We want to get these other. So I want to do
women in their damn vagina traps.
I'm working so hard for this fucking shit.
The next thing I want to do is Fernando.
I get an entire festival.
Fernando will be a short because I want to go maybe 45 minutes. You know what I mean? And then Breaking the Dwarf Wall 2 will be after that.
You can probably
and then Shadow Band.
Probably fit in 30 minutes.
Well, I want to do 45, so Prime will pick it up.
Yeah, true.
Because the problem with Dedicini,
we learned a lot from Dedicini. I mean, you learned a lot.
It was a really good learning thing. But the thing was, like, no streaming services will pick it up except for Fossum. It's on Fossum. Go watch it.
Yeah, go check it out on Fossum right now.
That's the name of it. I couldn't remember
Fossum
the name
TV.
of it.
Yeah, but
is it possible to like take the movie and then do the credits and then play it backwards? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so like somehow like a really
I told him to put a blooper reel at the end of it or something.
Yeah, long ass blooper reel.
A blooper reel as long as the fucking movie. A blooper reel as long as the movie.
I tried. I don't have that much.
30 minutes and 15 minutes of bloopers.
But see, we talked about this. I think
had the music video and everything.
Jeremy, or maybe you had this idea, like film the second movie and then put them together as
we
the
did
second movie is just a post credits thing. So it's like the credits roll and then like no, the movie's not over, and it's like the whole second movie and it's like one big movie. But
I'm still super proud of that. And everybody I know who's watched Dedicini was like they loved it. They thought it was really good. So like from where it like started from the concept of like let's just film this super short spaghetti monster
5-minute video.
Yeah.
And a stupid YouTube clip. And
then we thought about my mom's pool.
Yeah. We were just super stoned floating in the pool. We're like, okay, let's write a movie. And she's like, what if spaghetti kills people? We're like, yes, let's go on that. And we just added a whole bunch of stuff to it.
But then there actually is a lore of the flying spaghetti monster.
But then he didn't believe me that I was serious, and I wrote a whole thing about it. And you're like, okay.
She wrote a note on her phone and sent it to me, and was like, it was literally like she had an entire story broken already. And I'm
how much did it change though from the?
It changed a lot.
It changed a lot.
Yeah, it changed a lot.
Well, that's what happens when you get in the room too.
Sorry about that.
It's not just you. I mean, we all threw it. By the end of it, I think like obviously Cortni's concept, Cortni's idea, the whole thing. By the end of it, it was like we'd all kind of. It's like the same. It's like a writer's room.
Except for we did it. They took over my entire idea.
Yeah, we did in the moment writing room.
Yeah, you guys.
We made it make sense. You mean?
No, it makes sense.
Because remember that scene where you're supposed to shake you? We're like throw her down harder.
Yeah.
Okay, well tell me. Well, okay, go ahead. Tell me the original concept then.
I don't remember.
Okay, it wasn't that good then.
I can pull it up. I have it on my phone.
But no, there is actually a lore of creepypasta.
Yeah.
Like you look it up. I didn't know that. And I was like, because we're calling it creepypasta.
Oh, you mean the term creepypasta?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we named it.
Yeah.
We named it. It's a creepypasta. It's a thing that it's like a copy pasta online but it's just creepy stories.
Yeah,
that's what we named it.
Slenderman's a perfect example of a creepypasta.
Yeah, well, you didn't know that's where we got the name from.
Monster.
Yeah, we took some inspiration from that.
To me, honestly, you go back and watch it. It's really funny, dude.
Yeah.
Most of my ideas had to change because we couldn't get enough people to like.
You have the scale. It's the scale.
I had an entire thing of they called ghost hunters to come in and that turned into
you just turned into one guy.
Yeah.
That's the way it changed.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what you have to do. See, that's like I'm really good at taking people's ideas that are like super wide scale and then like thinking about them practically of how we can we can film this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of like when we were talking
How
about
you do Dwarf.
well, yeah, exactly. Well, no, that's okay. We take it too far, then we step back.
Exactly.
But with like the cut and run video, for instance, Grey Garden, we're going to be shooting a music video soon. Keep a lookout for that. But we've had a lot of like really big scale ideas, and I'm like, okay, well, how can we realistically shoot this? And we actually figured out a couple of them, like some really cool green screen tricks and stuff that we're going to do. So
Hell yeah.
I
mean, we sat down and we kind of did not a writer's room, but necessarily like an idea.
I kind of want to rip off your idea. I kind of like your idea. I don't know if I can say it or not in the Grey Garden about you and on the John.
No,
You're not ripping off our shit, dude. How dare you rip off?
No, I was like, I want to do that in the video though.
How dare you? Want to be the guy that does it? Not even in the band, and it's like,
No, yeah, just
where the fuck is Messi? And he's just like,
No, you and Kibbles are our Jay and Silent Bob.
yeah. Oh, I did want to throw this out there real quick. Since we did cheaply plug Grey Garden right there, we do have a show coming up here at the Doom Room. That'll be on Saturday, May 10th. That's actually like a week and a half from now, or I guess a little bit less than 2 weeks. But when this comes out, it's 7:30 p.m. Doors open at 7. It's a $10 cover, 21 plus only. But we're going to be Grey Garden, Coyote Man, who we've played with before, Razor, Grave, Strands of Serenity, and Sick Moses.
I think I'll be running All Unique at the Outhouse.
Hell yeah. But this is a halfway to Halloween, hard and heavy. So that basically they're encouraging people to wear, if you want to wear some costumes.
Yeah, it's a Halloween show in May. It's awesome.
Oh,
That's a good idea.
I was going to dress up and live stream it from the Outhouse. Running sound.
Like people show up to the show at the Outhouse like, why are you dressed up?
Why is Bam Bam Bigelow running sound for us?
I think it's a great idea. That I was talking to Nick about it from the Doom Room. Shout out Nick. He wants to. He said this is his. He's had this idea for a couple of years. And he's never done it. And he's like, if it turns out well, he wants to do an annual, like halfway to Halloween every year.
Is anal?
Because the Halloween shows, like a lot of people in Lafayette really look forward to the Doom Room Halloween shows every year.
Oh yeah.
Because they're always like the best Halloween shows.
Oh yeah.
So he's like, well, let's start doing 2 of them a year. You know.
Yeah,
like, it's a good idea.
And it's people like to dress up.
For a while there, Logan Sport was killing it with Halloween shows. Remember that?
Yeah. The Record Farm. Those guys.
Well, they did a lot of places. Like they did it at Shooters and just random bands doing like dressing up as whatever.
Well, if you like what you hear about like the breaking the dwarf wall, Dedicini, all these things, you can actually get at the man and actually have him help you with your project. Ladies and gentlemen, Matty Crull from Outhouse Production is available. His phone number's on there. It's outhousekokomo@gmail.com. Music videos, podcast production, video editing, mixing, mastering, graphic design. He does it all. Messes the man. He will get you taken care of.
I'm going to be dropping a demo reel. I think I'm going to drop that tomorrow.
It's a good reel.
It's a reel of all the video stuff that I've done. Yeah,
I bet you changed it since.
I've psyched it up.
Unreleased stuff.
Unreleased.
But Jesse saw the final.
I liked
video.
it. Yeah.
I
was like, I wanted to share it. And he goes, no,
it's not up yet.
Don't.
But it's like
Messy.
It has an unreleased music video that I love.
I'm Matty Crull, by the way. I didn't introduce myself. I don't know if
you dude. Well, I'll put it up earlier. Everybody knows who. My thing is, once we've been on this many times, like we've all been here.
I figured, but just in case nobody knows.
Hi, I'm Jordan.
I do videos. If you're an artist, get at me. I want to do.
Yeah, hit up Matty Crull, man. He'll help you out with it. You've been doing a couple of different projects. You worked with 13 Gallon. You can go check out their music video, which Mess is wearing the shirt right now.
Yes, sir.
13 Gallon's great. Go check them out as well. Follow them on social media. And the music video turned out fucking fantastic.
We shot that at Outhouse Records.
Yeah, and it's like a live performance video. And then you're working on one with Lucifus, right?
Master Hunter.
Master Hunter. My bad. I thought it was Lucifus.
I mean,
no.
It's Tony and Zach are in that band. They're also in Master Hunter.
Okay, I thought this whole fucking time I thought it was Lucifus.
No, it's Master Hunter.
That's crazy.
It's because it's Lucifus guys, but yeah, Jesse's in Master Hunter.
I thought somebody said Lucifus.
No, when I first saw Zach with Lucifist, I gave him a big hug and I go, "You will be drumming in my band."
And there was 10 years later, 15 years later.
Yeah. I had to kill Lucifist. I'm sorry.
Oh god. But
when I first met Matty, I said, "You will be drumming in my band."
Yeah, basically, as soon as I can get a date where Sage and Brian are both available, we're gonna finish that video.
Yeah, because they're like the leads in it. And then,
and we already shot the ending, and I'm like,
it looks good.
If we wouldn't have shot the ending, maybe I would just redo it. But it looks so good that I don't want to redo it.
Here, I have an idea. What if
it's gonna look different no matter what we do?
What if I just put on a dress? Because that's all I do for laughs is put. What if I just put on a dress and I get? Is that me? Did somebody use AI to make me? I would smash. Dude.
I still fuck
good, dude. What's funny is I saw that. Do this for laughs. You're not a comedian. You're joking. The funny thing is we actually had a drag queen come out and do comedy.
Yeah.
Because we're super fucking inclusive.
They were hilarious.
So lick my balls. Yeah, they were. I always want to say they, them, because like I know Dustin, he, Anita Dalla, she. So when I'm talking about the both of them, it's they, I guess.
Oh, I just want to ask you, did you like it when, because I have
pussy was good. What do you
molestation joke about my joke about people getting molested by the police department?
Yeah, I did.
It to Harry Giantburger.
Yeah, that was.
You like that?
Harry Giantburger.
The funniest part about that was it's a true story. Like the not today, sir. Like what? That doesn't make
that sounds like
sense.
something he would say too.
I've been waiting for you to turn that into a bit.
I like when you tell stories like the thing about like the going and seeing a band, that the pig squeal thing.
Yeah.
I like when you tell stories about your life, because I think those hit harder.
That's your strength,
and they're super
But I was trying to find a way to turn that into something, and Harry Giantburger just fell in my lap.
Oh yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. Yeah.
But we do have a new shirt. I was going to tell people we do have a new shirt over here on
nice.
kokomopress.shop. It is the She Ate My Asso in El Paso. Go check that out.
One of the country hits. It's the best country hits I've ever heard.
She ate my asso all the way in El Paso.
Texas.
Which Brian actually opened up for the Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage guy.
Did he really?
Rob Hines.
Shit,
Jones Barbecue and Foot Massage.
Yeah, I like Rob Hines.
Yeah, dude.
He's funny.
I think he's going to come on the pod at some point.
Is he?
And chill out.
Yeah.
The Black Pope is this other. He has a show called The Black Pope where he's just super sacrilegious.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, play him that satanic ska shit I showed you.
Yeah, he'd like that shit. Tell him all about Beazzle Bubbles. He'd be like, fuck yeah, dude. I can't even, it's hard to
How do you feel about satanic clowns?
He's like, well, let me just say.
ICP? No.
Okay, so here's a question for you. You guys have been around the music scene for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Dwarf Among Midgets has been a band for 18, 19 years?
19 years. 19 this fall will be 19 years.
Going on 19. Okay, you guys have probably seen every variation of a mohawk you could probably ever imagine, right?
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about this one. What do you guys think about this mohawk? Okay, I've never seen one of these before.
Oh, the skin one?
What?
Yeah, well, fold back out.
Bruh.
Yeah, that's the Disturbed. Gun up, banana.
What do you think about that?
Is that real?
That's absolutely real.
That's real.
It was from a reel. I stole it.
For real?
This guy pushes his head together. I know. Isn't that fucking creepy?
I don't know how you know what he looks like? He looks like
I went to school with a guy that could pick up his skin and it would do that.
Yeah, like a ply.
He looks like the Koopas from the Super Mario movie in the 90s.
Oh, the de-evolved?
Yeah,
de-evolved.
He looks like he's in the middle of the de-evolving machine.
You know they were drunk in that whole movie? John Leguizamo. And
yeah.
Making that movie, you have to be.
Well, they wanted more of a kid movie, and they're trying to make an adult movie, and they're like, we're supposed to make a kid movie, and they're like, fuck it, let's get drunk.
Well, they knew it was going to bomb, so they're like, what's going to be wasted? Yeah, Bob Hoskins.
Yeah, Hoskins, yeah.
The best part about that is, I don't know if you know this, but during the filming of Dedicini and Alfredo, the people were high the entire time.
Oh, wasted.
They were true.
I got the behind the footage too.
Yeah,
I love sharing the behind the footage too of that while we're filming that. Because you see them I'm getting high and you see them walking and go, it's spinning here. It's spinning. It's like some shitty Italian accent.
How dare you? This is beautiful, perfect Italian. No, it was shitty.
I was smoking around that time, but I wasn't. I didn't smoke the whole time we were filming because I had to be the fucking the ringleader here. Try to get everybody all right, stop laughing.
Everybody, let's get together.
I mean, I want to laugh. Let's have fun, but let's get it done too.
So was I the first person you killed on film?
No, I think it was Jeremy.
Jeremy?
Yeah, Jeremy got killed first.
Yeah, Jeremy was the first one.
Damn it. Always getting in front of me.
You didn't even get to see any of the makeup that I did on anybody.
What do you mean?
Because it didn't make it into the movie. I did a bunch on Jeremy that you didn't get to see on his face.
I thought
the
his
blood.
face is in it, right?
The blood
I know, but you couldn't see everything.
It's pretty quick.
Did you want us to just zoom in on his face for 5 seconds so you could see it?
Actually, it does that at the end for the credit scenes where it freeze frames and he's got all the stuff all over his face.
That's true. With your hand.
Didn't watch it.
Actually, your hand applying the goddamn shit.
Have you watched your movie?
Have you watched your movie lately?
No, actually.
I did. I cut it down a lot, but I had to. It's about pacing. It's all about pacing. You can't drag it out just to show certain things.
I'm not.
She's yelling at us right now, dude. Why are you yelling?
And now we can.
She's yelling at me. I was the editor.
I just don't talk.
But you know,
I don't talk.
Now
No,
we
it's
can
fine. You did a good job.
Damn it, she's gonna cry again.
I'm gonna cry
Oh
again.
God.
She cries every time I come.
Every time Matty comes on, she cries.
Fucking
And she blames me. Exciting things are happening at the Kokomo Press. Yeah, very exciting things. Not only are we bringing you comedy shows, an open mic once a week, skits, videos, funny jokes on our page, and satire news stories, but now you can support us by going to Kokomo kokomopress.shop. It's that simple. You go to kokomopress.shop, you find a t-shirt, you find a hat, maybe in the future some stickers and some posters. You go on there, you buy one of those from us, and percentage of the proceeds will go to us and help support what we do. We appreciate every person who just likes, subscribes, does all that. But if you go to kokomopress.shop and you buy something, we'll know who you are. You send us a photo of it. We will post it on our page and shout it out. Thank you so much. Go to kokomopress.shop, buy all your shirts and hats needs, and support the Kokomo Press. Thank you guys so much. kokomopress.shop.
Me? You're being mean to
weren't you
me
here last
and
time we
talking
subscribed to?
over me.
No, Corey was here.
It was Corey.
Yeah.
It was Corey, yeah.
So I was like, I'm sorry. I'll just leave the room then.
No, you gotta defend me.
I remember we were at IHOP. He's like, see, son, this is what happens when you smoke marijuana and want to eat pancakes. I'm like, what's he talking about?
I love Corey, dude. He's so dry that sometimes you're like, is he being serious?
And then
or is he...
Michael heard it too, and he goes, I'm not zoo exhibit. You know? He couldn't tell your son to watch it.
Michael is just like, chill out. I love Michael.
It was like 3 a.m. After a show. We were all there.
So funny.
Yeah,
That was the worst night.
Michael
that
made
was
me
a great
laugh all night that night.
That big steak omelet made it all worth it.
I'm like, IHOP, dude.
Who was in the booth? It was me, you, and Michael in that tiny booth.
Yeah.
And I'm the smallest person.
Yeah.
So it's like Matt's right here, and then Michael's on the outside. And I'm smashed against the wall trying to eat my
Yeah,
food.
I had Corey and his son next to me.
Trying to hold my purse, too.
You know,
You didn't have
I
to
was
do
not
that.
having a good time.
You never have a good time, you know? You ever had a good time
Yeah.
before?
I know we went to a Cubs game yesterday, and she just complained the whole time about how cold it was.
Damn, those pictures are
That's
cool.
hilarious. I thought about that. 'Cause I was like,
I'm
that's
kidding.
kind of too cold for a Cubs
No,
game.
it was
was
awesome.
like, I bet
honestly.
you
We were
Courtney
all the way
hated
up top too, so we got
I did.
the lake breeze and everything.
Yeah.
It was kind of chilly, but I mean, it was.
Chicago,
It's
dude.
weather,
And
yeah.
when it's cold, it's fucking because that wind is
I thought it was
serious.
great.
And then Matt messed up the time, so we got there like an hour late.
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't me messing up.
Even
the time.
better.
It was Lakeshore Drive traffic that messed up the time.
Yeah.
I just didn't realize that it messed up the time. We were
an hour behind.
It added an entire hour to our drive.
Oh, yeah.
But on the thing, I was still thinking that I was on Eastern time, so like it
yeah.
didn't even click to me that we were an hour late.
Yeah.
And then we got there, and I'm like,
Why are we
it's
an
the
hour
third
late?
inning already? Like what? And then, yeah, but I mean, it wasn't. We
Probably better to get there at the third inning.
Actually,
we
yeah.
missed about 30 minutes.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
know. Chicago traffic is kind of awful no matter what time you get in there.
Hey,
True story.
You guys aren't baseball fans. It's okay.
No.
I want to be there for all 9 innings.
I like playing. I just don't like. To me, I'm just like, oh my god, this taking for.
It's so much better now with the pitching clock.
Yeah, I bet it is. I heard that it's
Yeah.
made it better.
Watching it.
Most games are like 2 hours or less now. Like it's
good.
literally like.
So now if you get
2
to the third inning, you're
hours.
fucked. Because back then you get the third inning, you're like, oh, dude, we got 7 more innings. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, the 8 more hours, we're good. Now you're like, shit, we're
And it
third
was
inning, we got an hour and a half
freezing.
left.
freezing cold.
Freezing
it was like
cold.
50 degrees. It wasn't
Did
that
you
bad.
do you not know that it's going to be cold?
No, I absolutely knew. And then
She's
I
wearing
was like,
fishnets.
no, I was wearing pantyhose underneath my jeans, and then I had like a hoodie on and stuff, and we were gonna stop and get more clothes so I
It
could
wasn't
wear a
that
hoodie.
bad. It
but
wasn't
then
that
I
bad. It
didn't.
was 50 degrees, but you did have that
So,
breeze.
Here's the main things. How
And
the
I forgot
kids
my
feel?
blanket.
Were the kids have
Oh, I
fun?
know.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Who gives a
She
shit?
had a lot of
The
fun.
gas have a good
Was
time?
that the game that Theo Vaughn sang the...
No. It was Andre Dawson. Theo Vaughn
Andre
was the night-
Dawson?
the Theo Vaughn was the night before. Yeah.
Oh!
But Andre Dawson was there. So
Okay,
he was the one
I saw
sang
that.
it.
I saw Theo Vaughn singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
was the night before we
I
went,
wonder if
yeah.
Maddie's right there.
God, dude. Theo
I'd
Vaughn.
rather see Andre Dawson. You know.
Just imagine him being like, "Take me out to man. I got this
Yeah,
guy that I went to
man.
school
I
with
got
used to feed
got
parrots
lesbian heart."
cheese, and his parrot had lactose intolerance and shit all over the neighborhood. Yeah, he died last week. Like it's always something like
Yeah,
that.
did you know my parrot was bisexual? True story.
We were just bad luck. We went to the game. The Cubs played the worst they've played all year.
Really?
At the game we went to, they gave up 10 runs
'Cause of her?
And it's the first
It's
time all
me.
year.
because of her.
My vibe was just all
Here's the
off.
thing.
Yeah, exactly.
We got there in the third inning and it was still 0-0, so we didn't actually miss any scoring. As soon as we got there, the Phillies put up 10 in one
Jesus.
inning.
Her
Yeah.
Yeah.
pH balance,
It was
which
my
is short for
pH.
what? Philly.
Yeah.
pH.
I was wearing
Chicago
a red
Cubs
shirt.
are the number 1 team.
To be fair, I was there because I was a Phillies fan.
The Cubs are ranked right now the most likely to win the World Series this year again.
Really?
So, yeah. They have a 17% chance right now.
So you
I switched halfway through.
So you're saying I should put money on the Cubbies?
No, they'll probably blow it. But I mean, either
If
way,
they have the best chance, it's probably the worst thing to put money
Yeah,
on.
I
What are you
know,
talking about? You want to put on the.
that is true. Yeah, because everybody else is doing the same
Yeah,
thing.
that's true.
Yeah. I mean, they're probably still not going to win. It took them 108 years last time, but we just
Yeah.
happened to go to the one game where they like just blew it.
What makes you guys better now than last year or the year before? Like, what's changed?
Craig Counsell's the manager now for one. They had
Is it the same team initially? Or
No.
Just okay. So
no, we got Kyle
I can't
Tucker,
wait.
top 5 batter in the league right now.
Yeah.
The management makes a big difference too. It's just a difference. Pete Crow Armstrong is. You want me to talk baseball here? Because I can.
No, I just I don't need you don't need specifics. I'm just asking. Did they change? They
As soon as
manage
they fired the Rocket, dude, I'm done with the Cubs, dude.
Man,
Two things I don't want to talk about on this podcast: baseball or wrestling. I'm just kidding.
Hey, I thought wrestling.
Pete Crow Armstrong was like the #1 prospect for the last so many years.
Stretch Armstrong.
Pete Crow Armstrong.
Oh,
so here's the interesting thing. His mom was the dad.
Chet the Rocket.
His mom played
Stepman.
His mom in real life was an actress. She played the mom on Little Big League.
That's right. You told me
Remember that movie,
Yeah,
Little Big League, from the 90s?
It's one of the best baseball movies ever made.
The mom in that movie, her real life son, is now plays for the Cubs. But he was like the #1 prospect for so many years. They brought him up halfway through the year last year, and he sucked. This year, he's on pace to be like all-star status. So like him, the management, we got Kyle Tucker.
Chicago needs it, dude, because their fucking teams all suck.
Bears suck.
The White Sox.
Chicago Bulls suck. Bears suck. Blackhawks have like one of the best players.
Language.
Blackhawks.
The White Sox are the worst baseball team in the league right now.
Is it really?
They're
White
worst
Sox?
team in the
And they were
league.
actually pretty good a couple years ago. Like
They set a record last season. They set a record for the worst win-loss record in MLB history. Last year, they won like 20 games or something out of 162. It was ridiculous. So yeah, they're really bad.
Were we just talking about how I was having the worst time yesterday?
Yeah.
And you just did it to me again.
He asked me
having the
what
worst
makes the
time
Cubs
again.
good, and I'm like, they're fucking
I mean,
good
I
this
want to
year.
know. There's somebody they're probably
Carson
somebody
Kelly as the
listening.
catcher is coming around. He's like,
what I'm saying,
Megan Kelly?
You want to go to a Cubs game again? Is that what you're saying?
I'll go again.
oh, we're going again.
And
I
he's
just, I
this
just hope
time
it's
you better
not
win.
cold.
I like going to football games better than baseball games.
Yeah.
I
I want to be on time and I want to not be cold.
Because the Colts, I know where my parking is. I know exactly where to go. You
The
know,
problem
it's like,
with Wrigley is
it's a
there's no
routine.
parking.
Chicago.
It's the middle of Chicago. And it's been there,
sucks.
the stadium's been there 111
Yeah.
years.
$60
So the city
for
was built
parking.
around
That's
it.
why, yeah.
60?
trains.
$60 to park.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad spot though. I mean,
And the
it was
game's
like-
better on TV anyway.
And did you see what people do?
It was fun. It was fun being there because it was like you couldn't tell where like the end of the field was and where the city started, so it looked really neat.
That's the
from
worst thing
stands.
about the Pacers ending up like being good now. It's not that they're good. It's going to be harder. It's like the tickets get more
aren't gonna be
expensive.
$25
Parking
anymore.
gets worse.
Unless you have friends with season tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been dealing with the Cubs for the last 9 years. When they won the World Series, the price has shot through the
Oh
roof.
yeah, it just fucking ruins everything.
Cubs tickets are always expensive though because
See,
everybody wants to go to
they-
Wrigley.
They
Yeah.
switch his seats every year. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like he'll pay the same price, but his seats go lower and lower. Then they start on a
I need to
cycle.
talk to that bookstore guy.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
guy
yeah,
that
we
owns the
do.
bookstore next door to the Outhouse.
Yeah.
He's a season ticket holder for the
Yeah,
Cubs.
Cubs.
And he mentioned to me, he's like, we can work something out, you know, like he'd tell
We'll
us.
just tell Kibbles
Why
to quit
didn't you
fucking
ask
with
him about yesterday?
I don't know.
You know, tell
God.
You got to remember
Kibbles
everything.
might fuck that up. So I'm just saying.
Well, I do have. I have some
What
funny.
Kibbles do?
I
What
do.
does he do?
Well, first off, let's talk about. We need to talk about Haley Joel Osment and how cool the fuck
Oh,
he
dude.
is. Let's talk about that.
Oh yeah,
Dude, like I
Coolest
can't
dude
believe
ever.
it.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah, it's crazy. Tell
No,
Courtney.
what-
He got arrested at a ski resort,
resort.
snow, and he had cocaine on him, and he was passed out drunk.
on the ski on the lift on the
And
lift.
he's like,
That's hilarious.
and then he arrested him, and he's yelling anti-Semitic shit.
He's living the dream.
Yeah. And I was like, why are you arresting him?
He
man?
saw too many dead people. He went fucking
I know.
nuts.
I was like, what do you expect? His mom had AIDS.
Yeah.
You know, his dad was a retard. His mom had AIDS.
Yeah. He's just paying it forward, right?
Yeah, exactly. The cops should let him go. Let him pay it forward.
Such a fucking hilarious.
If you watch it though, he doesn't really say anything that anti-Semitic. He said he calls the cops Nazis and they're kidnapping him like a Jew.
What?
Yeah, he goes, you're Jew-napping me. So he says, you're Jew-napping me,
That sounds pretty-
Nazis. And I'm like,
See, if he was smart, should have been like, you guys are Jews and I'm a Palestinian, and then the left would be like on his side. Yeah, you got to.
How is that not very anti-Semitic?
It's not.
that's what
He
Nazis
he
did.
made himself a
Nazis
Jew.
kidnapped
Yeah.
Jews.
Because he turned himself into the
self-deprecating, so it's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, and that's what Nazis did. They kidnapped Jews.
Is he Jewish?
I don't think so. Probably in Hollywood.
But his new name, Hitler Joe Osment.
That's not his. Adolf.
Adolf.
That's the.
That's a whole different story. Well, Kanye's had a
Are we
weird
going to
week.
talk about Kanye on here?
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Well, I did want to say I'm now back to being an influencer on Reels again, or on
gosh.
Threads again. I got 658 hearts on a post that this. Oh gosh, after 10 years of cousin stuff, I was definitely excited.
The
I
Kanye
was-
cousins, baby.
I wanted to. That's a Kanye 15. No, I wanted to go on my Facebook. Like you guys aren't even rocking with me that hard. Over on fucking Threads, they thought this was the funniest thing
That's
ever.
funny.
Dude, fucking,
It's even more impressive that you got 658 likes because there's only like 750 people on
yeah, it's like most of the fucking Thread people.
Everybody on Threads likes
You know
that
what's
post.
funny?
They're like, somebody posted on Threads. Let's show it to everyone.
A guy came in yesterday talking shit about Kanye because I
Yeah?
had my Kanye album out.
Yeah.
And he was talking shit about Kanye and bought my Alanis Morissette and Tupac album. I was like, that was a weird interaction.
I mean, hold on. Are you throwing shade at Alanis Morissette?
No, I'm just saying. I go, that's kind of crazy. And it was like, hey, man, fuck that dude. I was like,
Which Kanye album you have?
The teddy bear one. The
College Dropout.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good album. That's a good album.
It's the first one.
That's the only one I like. But
I like the first 3 or so.
You're speaking to the more. Come on, his jaw's broke.
808s and Heartbreak.
They said he actually. Did you hear that he actually didn't get his jaw broken by driving a car? It was from sucking so much of his cousin's dick. Somebody posted that.
That makes sense.
Well, all I'm saying is, if you're talking shit about Alanis Morissette, you better cut it out. That's all I'm saying. All right, that's some inside baseball. All right, baseball joke. No, I'm just kidding. Well, if you don't know enough about Alanis Morissette,
the pitch clock,
Fever Pitch, starring
the bitch clock,
Jimmy Fallon, Fever Pitch,
pitch clock.
Isn't that about the Cubbies?
What?
Fever Pitch.
No, it's Red Sox.
Oh, same thing.
Good movie. It's not a bad movie though.
Yeah,
I still can't move.
It's not a great movie. Don't get me wrong. I just like baseball movies.
One of the best baseball movies of all time. Well, a couple of the best baseball. What's that called?
Little Big League.
Little Big League.
Great movie.
Is it called Little Big League?
Wait, he took over the Twins.
His grandpa died.
I'm talking about the greatest
Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year.
It's Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year is what we're talking about.
Because it's directed by Daniel Stern. So that's one of the best.
And it is great. But
it's a great one.
Have you seen Little Big League? It's really good.
Well, it's actually real baseball players.
But there's so many good baseball films.
Ken Griffey Jr. is the heel.
Like Cleveland Indians obviously have 3 major league movies.
Yeah.
Like
the third one we don't talk about.
Angels in the Outfield. Fucking that
was on there. I went to Cook McDougal's shout out, and I walked in. And they had the ending with Tony Danza, and I was like, oh, so I started crying. I was like, he's gonna die after this pitch.
He's the boss. No longer who's the boss. He's the boss.
See, I agree though. Little Big League, because it happened during the strike, they were able to like cast real MLB players.
Come on,
Randy Johnson and Ken Griffey Jr. are the villains, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But all the plays in the background and stuff, the players are real baseball players, so it just looks really good. And when they cast that movie, I don't know if you knew this, but they actually
the actors had to play baseball
before they came for a casting call. And before they ever said any lines, they put them out on a baseball field and see how they play.
Had to play.
You can hit, you can catch, you can throw.
Because if you look like an idiot, I hate when I watch like a basketball movie, and there was a thing recently with actually one of your guys' faves, the Greek dad from Full House, fucking
John Stamos.
John Stamos is in a show about basketball, and this girl's like doing this little. It's like a horrible move, and then she shoots. He goes, "Where'd you learn that hesitation from?" She goes, "You talking about Jordan's signature hezi?" Jordan doesn't have. It looks so bad. He doesn't even have a signature hezi. It was horrible. And I'm like, when you watch
Jordan
it,
never hesitates.
I know when you watch it, he never has. It was just, to me, it was like one of those stupid ass things where it's like when you watch a movie and you can tell they don't play the sport, it takes you out of it.
It's like watching The Acolyte and being like, as a Star Wars fan. Yeah. Wait a minute, this person's never watched Star Wars before.
One of my favorite stories is Bobby Knight talking about Jordan.
Oh yeah,
where he was like yelling at Jordan for not setting screens. He's like, Jordan, you got to set a screen. He goes, Jordan, or he goes, Bobby, you're not seeing it. I'm setting it so fast. You know, I'm the fastest player on the team. You just not seeing me set it.
But see if anybody. So John Stamos is in a basketball.
Yeah, he's
a
playing
movie or a show or something.
TV show like with women.
He can only shoot from one spot. Remember that? You remember that episode? We get your sweet spot. He couldn't shoot
some more inside basketball.
Inside basketball.
Okay, sorry. We're gonna keep the jokes.
But I hate that too when people look like they don't. Like, did you know in Major League, Wesley Snipes couldn't throw the baseball?
Yeah.
So every time he would go to throw, they would cut away from him because he was so bad at it. So that's why Little Big League, they made him play baseball. It was cool.
And the kid actor, I think, was legit too. Like, he was really good. Like, it's hard to find good kid actors.
Yeah.
Rookie of the Year.
They haven't been molested.
Exactly. Well, if they've been molested, they act a lot better.
That's some real inside baseball. You know?
I remember, I saw a funny video because he goes, all these mid-looking actresses getting famous now in Hollywood because we need a hero, and all of a sudden Weinstein.
Yeah. Dude, I did. I saw like so many posts. Like, God, man, they like Zendaya would not exist if it wasn't for Harvey. Harvey actually was like, it was like the dam that makes Hollywood good, and it was like Harvey Weinstein holding the dam up by himself, and then they got rid of him. It's horrible because like he's a piece of shit, but like
awful.
God damn, man. Where you got you guys know how many times I complain about Bella Ramsey.
I was going to say,
she's one of the ugliest women on the planet. Like or people. I guess she's non-binary, or they're non-binary. I get confused with them.
My thing, like, for this whole time, you've been saying that, and I'm like, I don't really care if she's attractive, whatever. And it was like, I was like, she's a pretty good actress.
Yeah,
but that second episode, spoiler alert, Last of Us season 2, episode 2.
La la la. Go ahead.
Have you not watched it?
I like the game better.
the game is much better. That's my problem. Her acting in that scene was terrible.
Oh yeah, to me, like
up until that point, I liked her acting, but
the
that
argument
scene,
has been that she's such a good actress. That's why it doesn't matter. But like, she's
not good in that
her
scene.
Her face
I
isn't
thought you
emote
said that
enough.
you liked it because I was like, it didn't seem real.
No. I said it wasn't bad. Like if I hadn't already played the game, then maybe I would think it's okay. But it's not. It's nowhere near the intensity of what Ashley Johnson did in the game.
Yeah.
Like, I know you haven't played the game either. That scene in the game,
I've
literally,
seen it side by side, though.
It tears your fucking heart out.
Yeah.
But the other thing too is like that's the writing. I'm gonna give it some time, but like the
Spoiler alert for anybody who is. I apologize. I mean, you're a week behind. Okay, good.
So
I want to make sure.
I apologize.
No, you're good.
We're a week after the new episode's tonight. Actually,
yeah, it's tonight.
But
the next,
you won't let me spoil Black Mirror episodes. Okay.
Well, but that's different. That's an anthology.
You just come out and say stuff though. You have to say spoiler alert first, so if people don't want to hear it, they can skip forward.
So before rape, I say surprise.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn it! Here we go again.
But my thing is, in the game, like,
Please, next time.
next time, please.
when you're playing that game and during that infamous scene, we haven't even said what happens yet.
know,
But when that
I know. I'm
happens,
just fucking-
they don't give you any reason for it, and that's why it's so hurtful. And then they force you to play as Abby.
Yeah, true.
And that's what that game is.
Yeah, there
so
was no
hard.
way they were going to
You can't do that in
replicate
TV,
that.
and I knew from the get go that it wasn't going to be nearly as good. And I don't want to be one of these guys. Oh, it's not as good as the book kind of guy. But like the game is, it's literally after taking 5 years from playing that game for the first time, The Last of Us Part 2, which was super controversial. I've played through the whole story twice. It's the best game I've ever played.
Yeah, best story you've ever.
And I've played.
Game.
Uncharted 4 is pretty good.
Uncharted 4 is good. It's also Naughty Dog though. But Last of Us 2, literally Last of Us 1 is it was already in top 5 for me. Last of Us 2 is probably the best game as far as story, as far as pacing, as far as gameplay, the combat, everything else.
I do like
It's
what they're
literally
doing with
best
the
game.
show. My biggest qualm with it was with the second episode of season 2, which if you haven't watched it, fucking mute for a second until I get
Go
to talking.
watch the show.
Go watch
Yeah,
it, dude.
It's on Peacock, ain't it?
No, it's on
Max.
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 It's worth watching. It's not a
on
bad
Max.
show.
Yeah.
It's not bad by
but
any
there's
means, but
the thing that pissed me off was I think they changed the story, like with her on the back of his horse and shit, right?
Dina.
No, I'm talking about Abby. Which did she ride back with him from the thing? Like, did that happen that way?
Yeah.
Because to me,
In the game-
it feels so. I don't know. Maybe I haven't played the game. Let me preface this. But
the
concept of her running and then he finds and then the whole thing playing out the way it is, it's so fucking far fetched in my opinion. It's so like perfectly aligned everything, and that, to me, that's the one thing that pissed me off. But I'm pretty sure in the game they didn't have that shit happening at the.
No.
That's all new.
The attack on
It was- they put it together.
Very out of order. You don't know what anything
Which is good for people.
like,
I actually
in the
think that's
game.
good
That's
for
what
people who
they
play the
want
game.
In the
Guess.
game, you don't know why she's going after
Yeah.
Joel or anything else before.
They want you to keep guessing.
That's one of my
Yeah.
biggest problems, though, is like I feel like they're catering to people that played the game because they're like, let's mix stuff up just so people from the game have something new to
did the
watch.
same thing with
but you're
Walking
ruining
Dead.
the story by doing that.
No, we don't
Because
want that.
I 100% agree. Like with all that shit going on and everything, it just doesn't make any sense. In the game, it's Joel and Tommy are out on a patrol, and then they find
because
her.
that's what I'm
And you
saying. There
don't-
was another aspect of it with Tommy because like I saw the side by side and I'm like Tommy wasn't fucking there in the show, and I'm like, and that actually would make it more serious because
Yeah.
Tommy's his fucking brother,
Right. Exactly.
Like to me, honestly, it takes away from the emotional depth of the scene, and you take his brother out of it because honestly, the two people that love him the most are in the fucking room when this happens. And to me, it's like that's the problem with the show. It's not even like obviously they're never going to be able to replicate the fact that a video game you have to go on the timeline. They can kind of do whatever they want to do with you. With a show, you have to like it has to be accessible to everybody who watches it.
And I've known that going in from the beginning, and I've been worried about it honestly.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
honestly, they did such a great job with the first season. The first season was fantastic.
Yeah.
But the second game is so nuanced and so different that it's not the same kind of game.
You couldn't do it.
It's
You can't-
format
you can't-
based.
yeah.
You can't. The format was so good. I think that's what made it mean so much was the format. And then
that's-
if the next episode they literally, it's very possible that the next episode what they do is they completely go away from Bella.
game. Yeah.
Like she won't be in it. It'll all be Abby
That's
and
what
the
happens
fucking
in the game.
firefight.
Yeah.
And if they do that, then maybe it'll win some more people back because I think that's what they
But
need to
I
do.
like what Matty said though. I don't like them catering to the game though, because they're.
I don't.
'cause that
He
means
wants them to.
No,
I-
No.
They're trying.
I don't-
They're trying to play with you. Like, they're going to think this way, so let's go this way.
Yeah, you're
It's
gonna
very-
sacrifice
It's
the
very
story.
it's very Vince McMahon way to do it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like that they're catering to that. I just want them to tell a good story and do it the way it works. But I feel like some of the stuff they're doing it just so people people that played the game don't see it coming.
Yeah, but at the end of the season, I think that's when we really will come down to the wire.
They did the same thing like Walking Dead. They did the same thing.
How are they going to stick the landing?
It's going to be really interesting because the way it happens in the game, I'm not going to spoil it because I know you haven't, but like, it's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
The way the whole story comes out and like the way it comes around at the end of that, you're so goddamn torn.
Does Kibbles give that back to you yet?
Not yet. I need to get my disc from him. 2 weeks after I played this game, I was like still like I felt despair. I felt the weight of it. You know what I mean? And it wasn't just the Joel scene. Obviously, that's a big thing. But the whole game, the way it's put together, that's why I'm saying like I really think because they do play with the format.
Yeah.
Because they make you feel that the scene that happens in season 2 happens, and then immediately you're fucking Abby, and that's why a lot of people quit playing the game because they're like, I don't want to play with this bitch. I hate her. Blah blah blah.
You got very attached to that character,
but it's like it's a fucking heart-wrenching. I'm like, I have to see where they go, so I fucking trudged through, and I'm so glad I did because it's a fantastic
and you're
game.
playing while you hate her.
But here's the interesting part: the second time I played through it, I fucking loved Abby and I hated Ellie. Like that's what they do with you.
Well, the good news is I already hate Ellie in the fucking show because she's the worst fucking actress.
There was somebody said on Reddit. They said like they intentionally cast Bella Ramsey so that way when they cast Abby and she's hotter that people
and that
like
girl's not hot either. Like let's be real.
She's pretty mid. But the other thing too is like
Weinstein wouldn't let that happen.
No, Weinstein would never.
The other thing, okay, here's my other, not to go too far into this, but like my other issue with episode 2. Episode 1, they show Abby and she's mourning her father, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Then 5 years later is episode 2. Well, in the first one, she's like super skinny, and I even said to her, I was like, okay, she's gonna get buff now. Like,
not at all.
But she didn't, and it's like she doesn't really seem intimidating. The thing in the game is, Abby was so straightforward, like she was so determined to kill Joel. Spoiler, that she literally like she worked out constantly, and that because in the game she was a little skinny just like she was in the first episode, and then 5 years later she shows up and you can tell she's been doing nothing but working out for 5 years.
Yeah,
and that's the reason that that what's his name, Isaac, the leader of the Wolf, actually let her go on this thing because he's like she's a soldier at this point.
Yeah,
and it's like. It seems weird to me that he would even let her leave the camp as this little girl like that. Like, what it seems weird. And I'm like, and I even told her, she was like, well, it's not unrealistic for her to bulk up. I'm like, Hollywood actresses do that. Actors do it.
Why can't a fucking woman?
They bulk the fuck up.
She's probably the reason why they don't want to make women do that. Well, they'll make men do it.
I just didn't think she'd have the time to do that.
No, they could have done it. They could have filmed that scene. The first scene of everything last season and then started this season with it and given her almost a year to fucking work out. But the reality is they'll have men do that because like honestly you'll keep getting roles. But if she buffed up like Abby in the game and she's not getting any more roles,
exactly.
I get it. But I mean, if you remember
gnarly hand jobs though.
Remember what Demi Moore did though for what was that movie?
G.I. Jane.
G.I. Jane.
Yeah.
Yeah, Demi Moore and G.I. Jane was buff as fuck.
Yeah, but she was like cut.
She wasn't like buff. She was cut. They defined her.
But either way, if Abby was cut like that, then I think it would work better.
True.
Because like this little girl, like fucking, it's just like
it didn't seem realistic, dude. I'm just.
That's still one of my favorite scenes though. Demi Moore going suck my dick.
Yeah.
But see, I loved the way that Abby was so damn determined that she. But they also did that in the game because they wanted her to feel different than Ellie because you constantly moving back and forth between playing against them. They wanted her to play like a man, kind of, more.
Instead of just making it his son, like they could have done. Like to me, they want women representation so bad that they're like, we'll just turn this woman into a man, basically. Like it's,
No. I honestly, I really like.
Any other good games you recommend?
I like that in the game. Hold on, I got a couple more points here. Sorry. I like
Last of Us 2 already.
I like that she is. I like that it is because it's the parallel between Ellie and Joel and Abby and her dad. You know what I mean? It's like, Joel killed her dad, so Abby killed Ellie's dad, and then Ellie comes back. The whole point of the game, the whole theme is this senseless revenge violence. Revenge is a cycle, and it's like you can keep going or whatever.
If you stood Ellie, the actress that plays Ellie, next to the actress that plays Abby, she's probably double her size. She's so much bigger than her, isn't she?
I don't know. I haven't seen
when I looked at the scene, it felt like she was so much like she's wider. Like she's definitely she looks like she would have been a better Abby, and the other girl looks like she'd have been a better Ellie, like size wise. And it just feels so weird when she. I mean, obviously, I know she gets knocked as soon as she comes in the room because she's a fucking dumbass, and instead of like quietly, she's quiet all the way up, and then she gets in the room, sees him, and girl. Like if she'd have just waited 2 seconds, that's. I mean, it's a lot of.
Zac Efron. He should have been Carrie Von Erich instead of Mike Von Erich. You know.
I don't know enough about the Von Erich, but I thought that movie was good.
I thought the same thing about that scene. I was kind of like, okay, that seems kind of weird.
Yeah.
In the game, it's not much different, but in the game, it felt different. I don't know if maybe because you're playing as Ellie.
Yeah.
So the fact that you can play against her and you walk in, you get fucking, you get checked.
Yeah.
But it's like I don't know. It's just like I said, I don't want to be the guy that just keeps saying, "Oh, it's the original."
No, but I mean,
the original
just telling the truth
is better, but it really is.
Yeah,
it's so goddamn good, and it makes me sad that the people that have never played the game are going to experience the story this way. Yeah. And then if they want to go play the game now, it's not going to have it's not going to have the same impact.
Now let's talk about the greatest show that's ever existed, and the fact that
Outhouse Super Show.
No, it's called Andor Season 2, officially the most critically acclaimed live-action Star Wars project ever. Andor Season 2 is sitting at an impeccable 99% of Rotten Tomatoes with a solid 68 reviews, making it the most critically acclaimed live-action Star Wars film or TV show. Link in the comments. So
streaming on Disney Plus.
So they dropped 3 episodes. I have not. When I go to watch it, I want to be able to watch all 3. So I haven't had a chance to sit. But
I haven't watched it either.
I'm famously known for how much I loved Andor Season 1 because of how fucking.
I liked Andor.
Why are you laughing so hard, Cortni?
What do you mean? We've tried to watch Andor so many times.
Yeah.
No, he got really fucking good. We got to episode 6, 7.
Yeah, it gets really good.
It was getting really good, but for some reason life took over and we just haven't gotten back to it. And that's what's so funny about it. It's like if I don't watch it when it comes out weekly, I can't get back to it because
one of the things I've been telling people with this show is that one of the reasons I didn't want to watch this first 3 episodes is I want to be able to sit down and you almost need to be able to fucking digest it. Yeah, you need to be able to pay attention because there is so much going on.
We never get enough time to do that. Something is always going on.
When it's dropping,
like an episode of Black Mirror.
when it's dropping once a week, I can do that because I can be like, okay, it's on tonight at 9 o'clock. I'm gonna from 9 to 10. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But when it's like, okay, now I have to find time to rewatch it. Like since I missed it when it was coming out like that, I haven't had the time to do it because I want to be able to pay attention to it.
And you like dialogue like I do.
I really do.
And the dialogue in it, it's so solid.
The show
storytelling.
The show it started getting really good. The first few episodes are hard to get through. Yeah. We got to the episode 7 or something, and I was
the vault heist is tough. You get through the vault heist, and it becomes a different show.
And that's my whole thing. I want to be able to give it the time that it deserves because I could tell that it's a really good show, and
it's so good.
He always wants to watch it when I'm gonna fall asleep.
Well, that's the other thing too. Every time I'm like, all right, let's watch.
Don't watch it with her. Stop fucking trying to watch it with her. She's been the problem from the jump. Let's be honest. She's been the problem from the jump because it's always been like, well, I want to watch it with you, but then she never wants to watch it.
I never said I wanted to watch it with him.
When it originally came out and I was talking about it, you were like, well, I want to watch it with you.
I want to hold.
I didn't.
The show, the first episode or the first season dropped when we first started dating.
Yeah.
So we were doing all kinds of other stuff. we were busy.
They were doing sex and/or. It was either sex and/or.
Well, the relationship was new. It was all the time at that point.
Sandwiches.
Yeah. Now it's once every, whenever it feels good.
Every third day.
Hey, have we done it this week? No, we might as well. And/or.
We're gonna get to it though.
That's gonna be their new. That's gonna be their new.
Like watching Andor.
That's gonna be their new sex. Their new sex thing when the kids are around. They'll be like, "Hey, you want to go watch Andor?" And then they're gonna go fuck.
Hey, you want to go? Yeah.
Hey, kids, we're watching Andor. Stay out of our room.
Hey, Matty, we'll catch up on some Andor real quick.
It's oral and/or
Andor butt.
Anal and/or oral.
Holy shit, dude.
But we actually joked about, okay, let's just watch a recap of the first season and start this one now. Now that we can watch it weekly, funny. It was like maybe we can do that.
We can just fucking.
But I feel like we'll just lose a lot of it.
If you miss the final Andy Serkis episode, it's like you might as well not watch the show. It's so fucking good.
I know, and that's why I was like,
you like Prison Break. You like the show Prison. Mm-hmm. It's like that's like half the show is a bank, or half the show is like it's the heist setting things, and there's the bank heist or the vault heist, and then it becomes about the prison break, and then it becomes about the literal revolution in the town, and it's like it's almost like 3 different movies. Like if you think of it as 3 different movies and chunk it out.
I like the feel of it because Rogue One is one of my favorite movies.
Oh yeah, and it's so good.
It's very similar.
I'm waiting for season 2 of Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
I like Obi-Wan too. A lot of people didn't.
It's not coming back. It's not coming back.
No, it's not. They can't go anywhere with it. I guess. Yeah.
That was just filler. It was just to explain some certain things.
The way he broke his mask and shit at the end of that.
Because it paralleled Rebels.
Yeah.
The best Star Wars show.
Yeah.
Of all time.
No, actually, Andor season 2 is officially the most critically
Clone Wars
live action. I'm just kidding. I don't know if it says live action, so it could be.
I don't know about critically acclaimed. I just know my favorite my favorite show is probably Rebels. But
Rebels.
It's animated.
And I watched Star Trek too. Don't worry. First Contact. Good movie. Good movie with the Borg.
I'm gonna get to Andor. I just need to. I don't know. We had some good conversations. So Friday night we actually ended up going to the IMAX theater in Indy to watch Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, never seen that one, have you?
Or anal.
No. I was just like, I didn't get a chance to see it in theaters 20 years ago. So when it was in theaters, I was like, it's cool. So we get in line and we're standing there in line for popcorn and stuff. And there's these two guys in front of us with full on Jedi robes with their lightsabers. And I was like, damn, I should have worn mine. They turn around and they're like, oh, you should have worn yours.
This is the nerdiest shit I've ever seen in my life. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
We're weaving in and out of this line.
He's like looking at his robe like, oh my God, that's real.
No. That's what started the conversation. And then the guy's like, okay, so. And I was like, well, I'm wearing my mall shirt. And I was like, I got the tattoo, Star Wars. Like, so then like they find out, okay, this guy's a super fan too. So they're like, all right, what's your opinion on this? And so we start like the entire time we're weaving through. Courtney's sitting here on her phone, and us three are just we're just talking lore, and we're talking like, what do you think of this? What do you think this?
Courtney's like, we haven't even walked in the theater and it's already sweaty. It's just sweaty and nerdy.
It smells so bad in here. I might as well be at that wrestling convention.
It was so nerdy. We were talking Clone Wars, Rebels. We were talking the Filoni verse. We were talking like the Filoni verse and its impact on the new trilogy is coming out, and how it fills in the gaps of the sequels, just like Clone Wars filled in the gaps of the prequels. It was a whole thing. Like we for like 10,
the worst part was I knew what they were saying, and I still hated it.
And you felt so bad because you let him fill in your gaps sometimes.
I was like, damn, I'm gonna let him fill in my gaps.
I knew I liked watching Star Wars at the movie theater. When I went to see Phantom Menace when it first came out with my sister, and it was right when the scene where Darth Maul fought him at the end. And literally 4 groups of people just stood up out of their seats and started fighting with lightsabers.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is it? Like,
when did they start? They started clapping when Anakin was killing.
And when the fight will stop, they'd sit down.
Yeah.
And then when they fight again, they get up. Bam, bam, bam.
Awesome.
I'm like, what are they doing? I'm like, And I'm like,
that was
like Star Wars.
That was funny. Like, so in Revenge of the Sith, when Anakin ignited his lightsaber to kill all the kids, the younglings, everybody, the whole crowd like start clapping and shit. Like that's what gets applause. Like what is the first applause of the whole movie is when he's killing the younglings. It was funny. Dude. It was pretty good. It got a standing ovation at the end too. Everybody claps and shit.
I liked Phantom Menace when it came out. I don't know why people Jar Jar Binks ruined it.
Wait, what?
No, I hated Clone Wars. I liked Phantom Menace.
Clone
Wars
mean
sucked
Attack of the Clones?
Or Attack of the Clones.
Clone Wars is a TV show. Don't ever talk about that about me because I will not be friends anymore. But
Clone Wars sucks.
Animation.
God damn it.
I try to watch Clone Wars. It was tough.
Attack of the
It was tough
Clones.
for me. I don't like the animation style.
I watched the other one.
I don't like animation. I'm kind of straight.
I fell asleep at the theater that one.
I don't
kind of straight with it.
I don't like the kind of animation of Clone Wars.
Neither do I.
I didn't at first either, but it sucks you in after a while and it gets worth it.
Because there's 2 movies I fell asleep at the theater.
Yeah.
It was Attack of the Clones and The Flintstones when John Goodman.
So I love that movie.
I woke up like, what the fuck?
Attack of the Clones and John Goodman.
It's interesting because
Attack of the Goodmans.
When I saw the Phantom Menace in theater, I was 12.
Yeah.
That was so I grew up watching the original trilogy, and I was a fan. We just talked about this on Friday, and then Phantom Menace in the theater is the reason I stopped being a Star Wars fan.
Really?
Because I was 12 and I was like, it's too much politics. Jar Jar Binks is annoying. Maul was only in it for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's the coolest part of the movie. Blah blah blah. So I stopped being a Star Wars fan until like 6-7 years ago when I watched the Clone Wars, and that's what brought me back. And now I'm a super fan because of the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
But that's what's funny is like because I didn't watch Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith in the theater. That's why when they brought it back this year, I was like, we have to go. Like,
I like Revenge of the Sith. That was except for the ending with Darth Vader screaming at the moon or the Darth.
That's still great.
He owes me so much buzz stuff for this weekend.
And I think Robot Chicken ruined it for me too because they do the same. They reshot the same thing.
Hold on. Here's the thing.
What?
It wasn't my idea this whole weekend. It was her idea.
Yeah.
But I know she said that you joke with her about we're doing all the things that I want to do. This was all her idea.
Oh, yeah. So I was giving her shit. I was like giving her shit.
Months ago, we talked about going to a baseball game.
Yeah.
Because we want to get Cass excited for baseball or whatever. Then I actually made plans in June to go with Ryan to St. Louis. We're going to Busch Stadium for 2 Cardinals-Cubs games.
Yeah.
And she got upset. She's like, you're going to go with him before you go with us, blah, blah, blah. So then...
It's the fucking Cardinals.
So but regardless, she wanted us to go to a game together before, she wanted me to take Cat, whatever.
No, he said that he wanted to go to a game with me, and then he scheduled to go to a game with Ryan.
He didn't seem interested. So then this week I said...
Roses before hoses.
I guess.
This week it came up, and I was like, hey, Cubs are playing in Chicago, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, let's get tickets. I was joking around. And then she's like, yeah, let's do it. So then, then the movie was... Literally Friday, she messaged me and said, "Do you want to go to Indy and see Revenge of the Sith in the recliner chairs tonight?" And I was like,
AMC.
"Fuck yeah!" So I didn't. It was not my idea. It was all her idea. The whole weekend was her idea.
Yeah.
Go to Carmel. Yeah.
We
I completely.
recliner chairs
I
is the
watched
best.
Oppenheimer in there.
The only
movies
reason I even give her shit is because of what she would say to your previous roommate, that she would always talk shit about that person. So I always have to give her shit and be like, "Hey, are you falling into the trap?
Oh no, dude!
Are you falling into the trap? Are you falling into it?"
I think it's different.
Nah, she's got enough hobbies outside of you that it's not a big deal.
I think it's different. It's
Like, it's not the same.
I don't think
Yeah,
it's
like
being
the
a
mailman.
if she's genuinely interested, like she does like Star Wars, she just won't admit it.
Yeah.
And she does want Cass to be into baseball. She just won't admit it. Even
Well,
if she doesn't
taking
like
Cass
baseball.
changes the entire the math
I
of that.
wanted to go.
Oh, he
I
had a
wanted to
blast.
take
He had his
class.
iPad. He was taking
yeah.
pictures and stuff.
I bet he was having a
The
blast.
background on his iPad now is the picture that he took at the game.
How
It
did the
was
ivy
cool.
look? Is it still dead or
It's
growing?
starting to grow. Yeah, starting to get green.
Well, I just know like he's Hispanic, so he goes and see baseball. He's gonna
See,
what the
what
fuck?
I- that's
They
what I
look
said
like
to
me.
It's Dominicans.
I've been he's in rookie league this year. It's his second year playing. He played t-ball last year, rookie league this year, which is pitching machine. So it's basically minor league, but it's just littler kids.
Yeah.
And so I've been working with him in the backyard on his swing and his batting stance and catching balls and stuff. And I was telling her, I was like, he's Hispanic. If we work with him, he's going to be a pro. Like it's in his blood to be good at baseball.
He's either gonna mop
What we-
floors.
yeah.
We're
He's gonna-
manipulating him to give us money.
Yeah, he's going to be in the MLB one year, one day, and he's going to. And we
Has
we
there
can retire.
has there been anybody who's been like no taller than 5'5" in the MLB? Because
Listen.
let's keep
Ryan
honest.
Sandberg.
Hey,
He's not
No,
getting
there's
that
a few
tall.
right now.
Right.
Ozzy Albies.
Yeah.
He's like
Hall of
5'4",
Famer?
maybe 5'5".
What position?
He's an all-star. He's a
Shortstop.
shortstop.
Okay.
He's good. He's real good.
He was very
And he's-
shortstop.
And he's Hispanic.
He is the shortest stop.
Gotta be.
But he's-
But that's the name of the position.
There's actually multiple Hispanic guys that are like all-stars, but they're all short like
Yeah.
that. It doesn't matter. Like
Ryan Sandberg was short, wasn't he? When he famous for being
he's
short?
like 5'9", 5'10".
Was he? I always thought he was famous for being short.
I mean, that's pretty short to
The
me. but,
rhino.
you know.
Yeah. They're
To
like,
Jordan,
rhino.
that's a monster. You know.
That's a monster.
It's like, man, he's really
5'9".
tall. He's 5'10".
Yeah,
Holy shit.
5'9".
I'm 6'5".
Yeah, everybody I hang out with is taller than me. What are you talking about?
I know.
I don't even hang out. The shortest person I know is Cortni. Like literally. Like, I don't even hang out
It's
with
sad.
fucking short people. Dude.
Yeah. We
I just
suck.
know you said in one of your bits one time, you said like my son's so tall, he's 5'11", and I'm like, is that really that
that
tall?
tall? Yeah.
I thought that was average. Like, I don't know.
It's not average. I think is like for men it's like 5'9",
Is it?
and for women it's 5'7".
Oh.
At least I think that's the U.S. average.
That's 3 inches average.
Yeah.
I don't know.
3 inches. Well, that's my favorite. I have a bit I'm working on right now. I don't even want to say it because Messi will start using it on the fucking podcast. But I have a bit I'm working on now.
I had a whole thing lined up to my Chris bit too.
Yeah, motherfucker.
And then Sean didn't pay. I was like, damn it, Sean, you ruined everything.
I was gonna.
I was like, man, I rented this dude named Chris, and
And Sean's just like,
yeah, Johnny, I wanted to do it just to see Sean's face. Like,
I want to add it to my trans man bit, but it's like I love that I love trans men. Like I think most guys with average dick should love trans men because they're skewing the dick size
curve.
smaller.
Yeah.
Like the curve is actually to yes, I believe they're men. So now my dick's bigger. The average dick size went from like 5 inches now down to like 3.5. That's the joke. It's like how do I make it work? But that's
a medium sized.
yeah. I've got a medium dick. Oh, I'm sorry, Sean. That's a Sean D bit.
I'm like, I got a medium sized butthole.
We all love Sean. Well, we love his bits too. They're quotable. It's like a funny movie you go see, and like the movie's quotable, just like his bits are quotable. I quote some of your bits sometimes too.
Oh, yeah.
I do that. Like
He quotes
We quote
everyone's
songs
bits.
too. It's fine.
it's the same
fine,
kind of thing.
fine.
It's like hey, you should take it as flattery. Honestly, like
Yeah, yeah.
Sean, don't get upset.
I think he does.
Yeah.
We did it. This last week was obviously his birthday at the open
Yeah.
mic, and we did some fun stuff with him.
I love now that like when he mentions. So my grandma and everybody just cheers like, like we all know it's coming.
Yeah.
We're like,
Hell yeah!
It's a classic.
So my grandma hates my generation.
Yeah. It's a classic at this point. You know, it's like everybody
yeah.
knows it. It's like
at
it's
the
like
end,
the big
everyone says
closer.
it, who's the pin?
yeah.
The last line
It was
with him.
fantastic.
It's like Sean D's closing time. Oh, it's closing time. Here we go.
Well, it's like going to a concert and everybody's singing along with the final song of the set. You know what I mean? It's like everybody knows that song.
What's in the bowl,
Yep.
bitch?
You play the first couple chords and everybody gets excited. It's the same kind of thing. Like I feel like comedy and music are the same way as far as that.
We need to all go to a show that he doesn't do that, so everybody be like really confused.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
It
like
would be
a
like
bunch of
The
new people.
Room.
Like, wait,
Yeah.
what? How do they know this?
They're chanting. Yeah, we're chanting all his jokes. With
We're all right at the end. We're all just like, who's dependent on technology now, Grandma?
And another one.
And another one.
Like, damn, this guy's got it's like a celebrity.
Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? No, it's funny.
Who do you
It was
think he is?
funny.
Corey Feldman.
I mean, Justin Seymour was really
Dude, he was
polished,
hilarious.
dude.
I liked it. I liked his.
That's the
jokes.
thing about that I tell Sean all the time is like, don't get discouraged if like your polished bits don't go perfectly at an open mic because honestly, like everybody's heard the stuff, and then even then, like an open mic is so bad with polished bits. I think that's actually bad for us. It's
exactly.
a bad thing. We need to do a better
work on your
job of
bits.
like polishing shit because like I've done when we went to to, you guys were there, when I went to the 648 Cigar Lounge, like I did that the most polished. I made sure I hit every beat, and I was like overly prepared there and like ready for it. And I'm like, I don't do that for the open mics. I'll be lucky if 5
bourbon, if you ask me.
Yeah. It would not be unnormal for me to like 5 minutes before I go up at the mic. It would not be unnormal. You know what I mean?
Unusual?
Unusual. There you go. I was trying to figure out, my brain wasn't working.
Not normal. Like what's the opposite of normal?
It's typically for me when I do the open mic, like right before, I'll just literally write my trigger words because that's what I call them, trigger words. Right, and I write them down, and then
you can't say that hard R.
Before hard R,
It's
baby.
racist.
Hard R, baby.
I take offensive of it.
Yeah, hard. Remember Big R?
My dad was half.
That's why I went out of business because
my dad was half trigger.
Half triggered. Yeah, because he's half black.
Yeah. What I'm saying, my mom is fat. Oh no.
Did you watch? How dare? Now he's stealing. Now he's stealing Brandon's bit. Did you watch the
flattery, right, Matty?
Did you watch the Big J the second half?
Oh yeah.
Pretty good,
definitely.
right?
Yeah.
I thought it was really
hilarious.
Yeah. Dude, he went ham on that fucking weird looking Air Force guy. Poor fucking guy, dude.
My favorite is his last special, Dog Belly, where the fat guy broke the chair.
Oh yeah, that's
I felt so bad for that dude.
No, watching the second half of the They Them crowd work special by Big J.
I don't know why he separated that long. He should have just did it like a week before.
Well, I know the second one, it was wild because if you watch the full, so he's picking on this guy and this girl couple, and clearly like she's like he's probably like an old sugar daddy. He's like a sugar daddy.
Oh yeah.
But they wouldn't just say it, so he ended up making it way worse.
Twice.
15 times. That's what it was. 15. Oh, she only did 12. We're good. That was what he said. No, but there was this part at the end where everybody stands up and they're clapping, and if you look and you pay attention, they didn't stand up and clap. He fucking torched them the whole time. Watching the crowd work part of that shit was so
He's a king
funny.
of it, man.
He's great. Part of it is a put on. I feel like it's it's like Dan Alton. I love Dan Alton.
But he has trigger words, like you're saying.
Yeah,
like he'll work the crowd, and he has bits prepared.
Yeah,
I feel like he has
off of that.
Yeah, it seems like he has bits prepared that if he sees somebody in the crowd that fits one of his bits, he's like, I'm gonna pull that one out.
And then that will trigger something else, and then that triggers something else.
But I mean, he's good enough that if like a random lady from older lady from South Carolina says something, he can just riff on
I've heard him say different jokes, but similar. You know, I'm like, I see how he does it.
And I found out even more because we went and saw him at Helium, like me, you, Courtney, Sean, and Michael Howard. We all went to that show at Helium, and then he opened up for Shane Gillis at Gamebridge. Yeah. And while I was there, he did a couple of the same. And I was like, okay. Like he did the joke about, you know, he hates all Nazis. He's like, well, there's one Nazi I don't hate. It's the guy that did the tattoos, because you know he wasn't in it for that.
He did some shadowing. Yeah, he goes, you know, there was one tattoo. It was like, nice shadow.
Can I just do like a really bad can I just do a badass eagle? And they're like, no, do the numbers. He's like, damn it, all right. It's so fun. Such a good bit. But yeah, and then he did that fucking bit about keeping a cancer, bald head cancer kid in a cage in the bed. So
he's not real.
He's not real. He's like, listen, I'm going to tell you guys it's not real, and you're still going to get sympathy. You're still going to be upset about it.
That's why he does the same thing with his daughter. He used to do that with his daughter all the time. He'd be like, hey, it's my daughter. Like, it's not happy. It's not real.
Dude, Dog Belly, when he talks about coming in and seeing her bush or whatever, and he was like,
I saw him work that out at Morty's. Before that show that came out, he was like, I know I shouldn't be saying this, but I saw my daughter's pubes. Like, what the fuck?
So, Courtney, you have 2 daughters. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, stop.
They're Hispanic, man. Their pubes go to their fucking knees.
Oh, shit.
My drains. It's bad.
That is true.
Matt's beard. Matt moved in, and it's gotten 10 times worse because I'm like,
she's like, now I've got stark black, red, and white.
oh my God.
I know ginger pubes are the worst.
You're blaming me, and I'm like, you got 3 Hispanic kids.
Yeah, what are you talking about? You got fucking 3 Chewbaccas in this house, dude.
That's a name for a good punk band.
That's why they roll R's. Everybody wonders why Hispanics roll R's, because they're part Chewbacca.
Would you see a punk band called Ginger Pubes?
I have actually watched them recently.
That would be Matt.
No.
My buddy, my buddy Kevin King, who does
I don't have red pubes.
I don't know if I don't think I have the thing on here. Actually, I do somewhere, but
I'm only red here. It's brown.
Prove it.
Prove it. Yeah, I'm brown everywhere else. I'm not full ginger. I'm not like.
He is a ginger.
He's a day walker.
You should see his pubes.
I just have
He's lying about the pubes.
I know I'm part ginger. I know I'm part ginger.
If I stay clean shaven all the time, no one would ever know that I have red hair at all.
Legit. Sorry, legit.
And shit.
I'm just saying, I'm not a ginger. I'm only my face is
Your
ginger.
beard, yeah.
My hair and my pubes are brown. Okay, my pubes are brown.
No, they're not.
So I did want to bring this up. I forgot about this.
Just saying that,
Yeah.
Shaw v. Danger.
Shaw v. Danger. No, it's literally roast battle tournament Flight Night. The round 3, the finals of Flight Night at Planetary Brewing are actually going to be May 17th. So that's going to be coming up. That's in Greenwood, $7:30, $5 to get in. It was packed the last time I was in there. The guy that runs, the reason why it popped in my head is the guy that runs it. His name is Kevin King, and he has, I think his is called Ginger Beard Productions.
Ginger Beard,
something like that.
Gingerbread. That's hilarious.
Ginger Beard. Yeah,
That's
and
good.
so Brian West and I are going to be an exhibition match. We're going to be roasting each other at the
You're going to
show.
be exhibitionists?
Yeah, that's what we said.
Sean said he's going to do roast.
Naked.
Sean D.
Sean actually is going to be doing an exhibition
I want to see
against
that.
Brandon
I
Stetler.
can't see him roasting really. I want to see him get mean.
Oh, dude. So I took him to round 2 when I got judged it. I put out a clip of me judging. Like, it was like I didn't write anything before. And I looked over and the girl next to me had like notes and I was like, oh, fuck. So I was like, I was planning on writing during.
I know he's going to get poked and then he's going to get violent.
Oh, no. I don't think so.
He's going to say some mean shit.
He's going to be in an exhibitionist match against Brandon Stetler. So.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, they're going to be exhibitionists together.
Yeah, they're doing
in
it.
the open.
He's gonna.
They're going to do it publicly this time.
We're finally gonna see Sean's D. You know?
The medium.
That one. And it's medium, I bet.
Medium D.
I wonder if he's like me, if he's a grower and not a shower.
Mediocre. It's like he's saying mediocre wrong.
Mediocre. Mediocrity.
Mediocre.
That's a medium okra.
It's not cooked all the way.
Medium okra.
Is that an idiocracy? It's mediocrity.
Yes, exactly.
No, other than that, you guys got anything else you want to plug real quick before we head the fuck out?
ShopOuthouse.com.
Go to shopOuthouse.com. But before you go there,
Outhouse Records.
before you go to Shop Outhouse, make sure you go to Kokomo Press.
Yeah. OuthouseRecordShop.com.
Outhouse Super Show. We're not doing an episode this week.
Yeah, so you just watch them here because you already are.
Monday.
Yeah, we skipped that one because I was at Wrigley and he was at a funeral.
And it was
Kibbles
funny.
was sick too.
Yeah,
so.
I was at my funeral and my cousin gave me a hug. I just got there like at 11 o'clock and I get there and he goes, all right, man, I'm heading out. I go, what? I just got here. And he goes, man, I got Wrestling Expo in Indy.
That's awesome.
Was it somebody important in the family or?
There's my Aunt Connie.
okay,
He should be. Let's stay a little bit longer.
Rest in peace, Aunt
Hey, I
Connie.
mean,
Was it his
it's-
mom?
Yeah, huh?
His mom? You said your cousin, right?
It's different mom.
Oh, okay,
Different
okay,
cousin.
different cousin.
We went
yeah.
to Squared Circle Expo last year though, and it's dope. So
It
was
is awesome.
worth
It's
it.
I kind of
It
get
was
it,
even
man.
better.
Connie would understand.
I know. Connie's,
Yeah.
she's a big wrestling fan.
I was in a wheelchair last year, so I got a lot of attention. It was great.
You were in a
But
wheelchair?
it just made me laugh. I was like, I'm in a funeral home,
Yeah.
and
It was after surgery.
It was after my surgery.
and there was a recipe book right there in the funeral home, and my sister was like, who the hell goes to a funeral home for recipes? I go, Brooke, they're to die for.
Oh, God. Hey,
where's that? Thank you.
Oh, my
And
God.
then they made me leave.
Then they made you leave.
And then you left and went to the wrestling expo.
Then I went to Arnie's and we went to
Yeah.
You rode with your cousin.
Yeah. And they're Kanye cousins, by the way.
Yeah.
Everybody just so you know.
Yeah, so we're not doing an episode this week for Outhouse Super Show, but go check out the Outhouse Super Show if you
Yeah,
haven't.
check 'em out.
It's our podcast.
Yeah, and if you're looking,
We're funny over there.
if you're looking for something to spend money on, and it's not on either one of those websites, we do have some
Stickers.
Kokomo Press stickers available. They're $3 a piece or 2 for $5 if you want both. 'Cause
And May
I will
3rd,
rub them on my
fucking
feet
money.
if you want to pay more.
May 3rd, we got a
$60.
show.
May 3rd?
May 3rd, the Come-Alongs.
The Outhouse. The
Yeah.
Come-Alongs, SITB, Steve's in the band.
Steve's in the band.
And I Got Worms
I got worms.
on May 3rd, 7 p.m.
Yep.
doors.
have we run out of band names? Is that what's
$10.
going on here?
Ginger Pubes.
Oh, great names.
And Ginger Pubes will be there as
are
well.
opening up. They're
Ginger
opening up.
Pubes.
Clearly opening.
Yeah, come to the Outhouse, 109 East Sycamore.
And that's another
May
thing
3rd.
I keep on plugging, which I wanted to get it off the ground. And my band Resin AD, if you are a ginger, you get in for free
Why?
because my
Does
guitarist
it
is a ginger.
count for Matt?
No,
I get it
Matt's a
free anyway.
daywalker. Matt's a daywalker.
I get it free anyway.
Yeah, he's running sound.
Hold on.
Hold on, you're going to do that, but you wouldn't do the tattoo thing? I had an idea. I said if you got an
you get
Outhouse
half
tattoo,
off.
you get in for free at
You
the
get
shows.
half off.
Yeah.
And he wants
You
to do
get
half off for that, but you let gingers in for free at a Resin show?
Yeah, because gingers won't show up to the show. I want a whole crowd full of gingers.
I mean,
I want a whole crowd full of people with Outhouse tattoos. I think that's cool.
Can I just dye my hair? I'm going to be free anyway. I ain't paying.
you have to pay.
I don't.
You gotta prove you're a ginger. You don't know what the hell you are.
I don't know. We can't check my pubes.
I forgot to ask you, Messy.
Lasered off.
I only saved this. I never got the final answer. Will you let us know what do they always? I want to know because I feel like you would know. Women dating man with micropenis.
You just lay back.
Just lay back. That's too funny. No, I did a bit about that at the show this last week. Do you guys remember that? It's like what is a woman? What is the answer everybody always wants to know about a guy with a micro penis? I'm like, I don't know. You have to ask Jimmy Shaw. It's something stupid like that. Which I'll throw shots since he wants to throw shots at me and Andreas.
Adolf Hitler had a micro penis and he was a vegan.
I think he was just on really a lot of Adderall or really a lot of meth too. He's a vegan?
Yeah, vegan. He didn't eat meat.
God.
Adolf Hitler did not eat meat.
No wonder he was so frustrated all the time.
Yeah.
For a guy that used the oven that much, you think he would
I know. Well, baking, you bake goods. And he's like, wait a minute, if I put the juice in there.
Thank you very much. I can't. Thank you very much.
Orange juice from concentrate?
Orange juice from concentrate.
You got to separate the juice.
Your mom's so stupid that when she drinks orange juice, she stares at the thing because it says concentrate. Remember that back in the day?
Well, my daughter, she said something hilarious at you. She goes, your mom's so dumb, she put batteries in the water thinking it's an energy drink.
It's going to be a comedian. She's
just on YouTube all day stealing jokes. She's going to be the next Jimmy Shaw.
Give her a couple of years, she'll be headlining Kokomo Press Comedy Show.
No, if she goes his trajectory, she'll just be hosting for the rest of her fucking life. Damn.
Whose trajectory?
Jimmy's. If she's stealing jokes.
I thought you meant Jesse's. I was like, damn, he's sitting right here.
Oh, wow.
Jesse's done.
I'm a star.
Jesse's a star. Jesse's done 10 minutes at Kokomo Press Show.
I played Skink Fest. I'm good.
I wouldn't know. I wasn't there because you booked it on the same night as I had a show.
Didn't have a choice.
I wasn't able to support.
Now, if we wouldn't have booked it, we wouldn't have had a show, the last show there. That was our technical last show there, like our last showcase. That was crazy. Fucking sucks, dude. I hate that, dude. I will say that I did want to throw this out real quick before we quit. Did you guys hear there's a new color called Olo? It's a brand new color that you can only see if you look under a microscope. Apparently, they were able to refract light in order to see a whole new color, and they can't even tell us what the color is because we couldn't see it even if we wanted to.
So what does Olo stand for?
That's bullshit.
Yeah,
that's bullshit.
It's just one. It's a Black Mirror episode. It's like rich people get to see a color I don't get to see now. This is bullshit.
Olo stands for something. I don't like it.
It's 100%
organized
clickbait.
light orchestra.
Like if you understand how color works and how light works, that's impossible, isn't it?
No, so like we only see within our own color frequency because of the way light bends or whatever. So what they did is they found a way to bend the light in a certain way to see a brand new part of the color spectrum that we cannot see with our naked eyes unless we're looking through the telescope or through the microscope, and they bend it at the same time. Like it's I
don't believe it.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that experiment?
There's no way to win.
I know how this color sphere works. Like,
have you seen that experiment where people had never seen the color green before?
Oh yeah.
Where
they did that shit. Like that was crazy, and they couldn't pick it out in all the colors because they'd never seen it before.
Well, I mean, for the longest time, certain colors didn't even exist because they didn't have names for it. Like pink didn't exist. It's more.
I feel like that's different though, because like you can still tell that it's different from the other colors.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like the way that the colors, the color wheel. You know what I mean? Like. There's something.
But that's just our perception of it.
There's only so micro.
The color spectrum.
There's only so much you can go as far as like micro, macro. Like getting in there and like. Where would it be? Like, what colors would it be between? What colors would mix to get to it? Bending light just has to do with how we see. Maybe we're just seeing things, but
it's like purple doesn't exist. You know that, right?
What do you mean?
The color purple does not exist.
Combination of the colors.
It's our brain. Our brain is computing the mixture of red and blue, who are on like opposite sides, I guess, of the color wheel.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And because of that. It turns into purple in our heads, but they're saying that like it doesn't actually exist. It's just our brain tricking us.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying though.
Yeah,
because you have primary colors, you have red, green, or red, blue, and yellow. Yeah, right. Yeah, and then you've got green, tertiary colors.
Secondary.
Between red and blue, you got purple. Between red and yellow, you have orange. Between yellow and blue, you have green. And then you go from there. You just keep going.
Yeah.
But like, there's only so many ways. If there's a new color, that means there's got to be at least 3 new colors.
Yeah.
But like, where would they be at? Because I feel like Crayola already has all that shit copyrighted.
It's so confusing to like copyright Crayola, you motherfuckers.
Because they have every spectrum in there. You can get macaroni and cheese. You have
Actually, the new color just found out just got changed. It's not Olo. It's now Crayola. That's the name of the color.
Crayola.
YOLO. Crowns.
It really is. They just took the word color and they're like, what if we just take C and R off? Olo.
I just don't believe it. I think it's
I don't
clickbait.
believe you.
I don't think.
I call bullshit. I call it Bat Boy from Weekly
We'll never
Wonders.
know because we don't have enough money.
All these years that I've been working with color and color wheels and like color grading.
We get it. You got black
What
friends.
if it's like what if it's like a scam to get really rich people to go look at it?
If it really does, I want to know what it is now.
What if you went there and they showed it to you and you did see it and then like there's no way to explain it because you can't really say what
Yeah.
it is. It's a new
That's
color.
what I'm saying. My perception of reality would literally be broken.
Yeah.
They're like imagine
Earth
a
being
color
flat.
between. I don't even know.
That,
There's no
that
way.
means that
That's
there's
what I don't get. I don't
Be a whole new
understand. How do
color?
you explain it? Like what?
Yeah.
And like I said, if there is a new color, there had to be 3,
and
right?
it's only seen by 5 people, so it's a monopoly on them. Only they can see it.
Only seen by 5 people. See, that's why I think it's bullshit. 5 people got together and said, "Hey, let's trick the whole world." And get
I don't think they can
headlines."
take they can't take a photo of it because it has to be seen
This
through
is
that
how this is how the
refraction.
Mormons started. Same way.
See, that right there, that also proves that it's bullshit because if you can't take a picture of it, lenses work the same way that our
Exactly,
eyes work. So
yeah.
like,
Yeah, they should figure that out then.
it's about
should
how
be
we
seen by
perceive
everybody.
it. The only difference is we don't.
What if you can
perceive-
only see it for a microsecond? Like you go to look and it's like you can see it, but you can only. You're like, what the fuck
You
is
could-
that?
you could
like
say
it would,
that.
it would freak
But
you
could
out.
say that's anything.
They actually said,
I could
"Oh,
say
no.
this
Oh, no."
color is new, and it could be just a color you've never seen.
I think those
Yet.
5 people have just never seen magenta before. They're
Right.
like, "Oh, this is a brand new color."
And they're also scientists, so they've never seen vagina before either.
I've
And they
seen
just
different
rushed it.
shades
They
of
just
pink with
rushed
our
it.
lipsticks, and like there's a lot of colors.
Well, they look through the microscope and they're like, "No, look, you see it's there." And then someone else looks at, "No, that's just magenta." And they're like, "No, I got to bend the light
I
differently.
saw
You're not seeing what I'm
OO.
seeing."
You don't understand. I saw OO.
It sounds bullshit.
And then they accidentally invented a light or new light or
Unless it's some kind of third eye bullshit that's like a whole nother
Your pineal
If
gland?
it's a different, because here's the thing. What I
Evolution.
know of color that
It's
actually
a different
exists,
plane of existence.
That's in our plane of existence. I do believe that
They're
there are
looking
other
through a black
dimensions.
hole.
Maybe they're looking into another dimension.
Well, we can only perceive so much
My
too, like
asshole. That's
what I mean.
visually.
Our reality is
That's a different color.
Our reality is literally only what we can perceive. So maybe it is
Now
from
we're
an
getting into
alternate
quantum
dimension.
physics.
Or
Yeah.
I mean, well, that's what I'm saying. It's definitely possible. But as far as like finding a new color on our plane of existence is bullshit to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I feel like maybe they're looking into they're looking into a black. The way the black hole works is it bends light. Like that's literally.
So how many
why-
episodes of Black Mirror have you gotten through? Yet?
All of them.
I
All of them.
haven't
Okay.
watched any of them yet.
Okay, I
Jesse's over here like this is all Black Mirror.
It is
None of us have
it's
watched it.
crazy
I've
how-
watched most of it.
It's crazy that show is like
I
what,
watched the
so
early
old
stuff.
now. Yeah, it's like old.
I had no idea there were 7 seasons of it.
Oh, yeah.
I've watched the first couple and I was like, I've only seen the
Dude,
first
there's
couple.
so many
I
good
watched the
episodes.
third season,
But
but
he's
now it's
missed
like
some,
season
man.
8
It's
now. I'm like,
crazier.
holy shit.
It's crazier watching technology catch up to the show.
Yeah.
Like literally, like I've watched a couple seasons this season. I'm like, that's pretty close.
Yeah.
Like to what we got now. You know.
It is pretty interesting because like the newer season, like obviously they're kind of peering. So season 6 was way less.
Yeah.
There's some really cool video game shit that you'll fucking love. And
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the
The
Bandersnatch, the second,
yeah.
but the new one, with the little guy, that was creepy as fuck.
I
Was
saw
it
the
not?
first one from years ago,
Yeah.
whatever it was, but yeah.
They
The
got
last one I saw was the dudes playing video games together and falling
had
in
sex,
love.
yeah.
And then they're having
just
sex.
kiss me, man.
Yeah.
Shut up and kiss me, man.
One of my favorite episode is still called Mom.
Mom.
Where he gets the experimental game.
Yeah.
Remember that he thinks it's an experimental game the whole time. And the whole time it was like his mom called him when they're trying to load the chip up. But so it's like,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's stuck in the thing. He's like, Mom,
I haven't seen that one.
Mom,
I've seen that
Mom.
one.
He just caught in a loop, but the whole time he's going through the game. He thinks he's going through the game, but it's actually his own death.
Yeah.
You know, he's like going through his own morality stuck in his
Those
own
fucking
brain.
shows are. I think the most recent one I watched, I can't remember. I've made it through. I'm right before the USS one again.
Okay, yeah.
And I think that might be the last one of the season, right?
It is, but at the beginning of the seventh season, it picks up where that one leaves off.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about this 7th season.
Yeah.
How many episodes is that the last
6.
episode?
6. No, it's the last episode with his wife, where his wife is terminally ill.
Oh, I watched that one. That was the first one for me.
Yeah. What was it? Yeah, I did the opposite way.
Oh, okay, that makes
Yeah.
Weird.
I guess I watched it the opposite way.
Yeah, USS USS
Yeah, I watched that one
Calypso.
first, and then I went the other way.
There's no like you can watch them in whatever order.
Yeah,
like, they're
yeah,
not,
there's
like,
no-
there's
yeah.
no through
It's
line.
anthology shit.
Yeah.
The one about the other one in the
Paul
space
Giamatti,
where the
that
two
one?
dudes were using the bodies, and,
Yeah.
and that one was fucking
With
wild.
Josh Hartnett.
Josh Hartnett, and
yeah.
who was the other dude?
Jesse Pinkman.
Yeah,
from
that was
Breaking Bad.
wild. the whole fucking
Yeah,
show is
it's
wild,
good.
Yeah.
dude.
Because I love it's like Twilight Zone with technology.
Yeah, it's the new Twilight Zone. That's why I always
Yeah.
called it. Yeah.
Do, do, do,
And I didn't know it until like the second season. My sister goes, "You know why they call it Black Mirror, right?" I go, "Why do they call it Black Mirror?" And look at your phone when it turned off. You know, it's your Black Mirror.
Oh, weird.
I was like, "Oh, you."
I never knew that.
You didn't know that?
He was like,
Actually, the real reason they call it Black Mirror is racism.
Probably.
Anyway,
American Mirror.
let's wrap this up. We're already almost 2 hours in.
Mirror, right?
That's the name of the episode, African American.
African American Mirror. Mirror.
You like Mirror? You like Mirror, right?
I like Mirror, right?
I've been watching the Bad Friends podcast.
Oh God, that's too
And
much.
like it's
That show is so.
it reminds
much.
me of you, like the way that he just goes into so many accents and shit.
Oh, yeah.
They were talking about it.
That's a
I think it was
ginger.
this week.
So you can get in my show for free.
They were talking about a Miller Lite commercial that Joe Piscopo did impersonating Bruce Lee, and it was like
Oh,
it came out in like
yeah.
the 80s, and it was so racist. So
Oh,
then
yeah.
Andrew just starts doing it, and he's like, yeah, but the whole time like he got to Miller Lite, and he said it like a white guy, and he's like, that's like the most Asian thing you can do.
Yeah,
It's like,
I know.
you like Amira, right?
Yeah.
That's like, it's so fucking-
Or Urkel.
but I'm like, this is
Remember
what Jordan
Urkel?
wishes he could do every week.
Oh yeah,
just do accents and shit.
Just do accents every
Steve
week.
Urkel
so
did a good
stupid.
Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
The actor,
I
Jamil
remember that.
White.
I remember
Jamil
that.
White did
Yeah.
Bruce Lee.
Steve Urkel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did it on Family Matters. It
Yep.
was on Family Matters.
Because it was like his time machine or something, or whatever his little Steve Urkel machine that they built. They went off the walls at
That show
later
got crazy.
seasons. Yeah.
Kind of became like a Twilight Zone, but
Yeah.
Like came up
Stefan Urkel.
African American Mirror.
That's just
episode.
because the actor, the Jill White, was like, man, I don't want to be a nerd forever. Can I
Yeah,
be
quit
cool in
typecasting
episodes
me. Yeah,
too?
quit typecasting me.
Can I
as a
be?
nerd.
Can I be fucking Urkel?
I can't get laid.
Stefan Urkel.
Stefan Urkel.
I can't get laid as a dork.
Yeah, yeah.
The ones I like was when he made the robot version, Robot Urkel, and it was all evil and shit. I was like, this is dark. Like he's like trying to kill people
Yeah.
and shit.
Oh,
Got
that's-
any grease?
Oh, so that
He was like he was trying to rape Laura, and then like it was wild.
That reminds me of that. On the way home from the funeral, my little sister Kaylee, she asked me what was going on, and I go, yeah, and I got a lot of backing from people on the my neighbors, and he goes, oh, you mean Dork Avenue?
Geek Street.
Actually, it's Geek Street. Actually,
It made me laugh because I was like, it's actually Geek Street.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Excuse me, it's actually Geek
It's
Street.
actually Geek Street. Yeah.
Dork Avenue. Actually, it's Nerd Way. Leave me alone. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jordan Grainger. This has been the Kokomo Press Podcast.
Yeah.
Of course, over here we've got Cortni
Shop@house.com.
Richardson, we've got Messy Gravis, and we got Matty Crull in the house. Make sure you guys follow them on Outhouse Records, Outhouse Productions, Outhouse Super Show,
Outhouse
Dwarf Among
Incorporated.
Midgets,
we starting now?
Grey Garden,
Starting now?
the Kokomo Press Comedy, Dedicini Alfredo.
We got so much
Resin AD,
Resin
Master
AD,
Hunter.
Master Hunter.
Yeah.
Fucking
Master Hunter Metal
follow.
on Instagram.
And then go to all of our YouTubes and find those and do that too. So thank you guys so much for hanging out, man. It was nice to be able to chill and fucking talk. It's been a while since we talked shit on here. So
Yeah.
But thank you guys for tuning in. This has been the Kokomo Press Podcast.
Bye.
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 Thank you for watching the Kokomo Press Podcast. We really appreciate you hanging out with us. If you enjoyed the show, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share, and tell all your friends about it, because when people know about us, we get to continue to bring new, great, exciting things to you. And if you really want to support us, you can actually go on to Facebook and you can become an official subscriber. It's only $4.99 a month, and you get a lot of access to us. You get to tell us good jokes, tell us all the things you want to, and you're going to get access to new videos, merch, all kinds of things. And if you just want to support us in another way, maybe wear a shirt, wear a hat, something like that, check out kokomopress.shop. It's a brand new store we have set up. It's got all our merchandise needs. It's going to have limited run t-shirts, limited run hats. Go check it out right now. Thank you so much for hanging out with the Kokomo Press on the Kokomo Press Podcast. See you soon. 2 kisses.